Hey, welcome to the Memorial Day Zoom meeting. Let's see here. We got to do this. Need to go here and then here, my videos. And live and on. There we go. Edit, we'll let them manage. And there and save. All right, all the business is taken care of. We got 2 viewers. Except I think I'm one of them, so we'll close this window. All right. I'd have been on a little sooner, but we had a little trash fire in the alley and I had to go out back there and put it out. I think I'm a minute late. Yep. Minute late. Ain't nothing like getting a call. You got to bring a bucket of water to the trash can. Want to thank all you veterans. And today is the day we remember the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice. Hopefully shortly somebody will come on here, keep me company. If I don't get somebody in the first half hour, well, we'll be looking to shut her down. Okay. Today I made up a tank on this because the 6.5 I had wouldn't fit in there. I need to glue it up and then we'll be putting it in there. As soon as somebody comes on, I'll be gluing this end cap on it. And I gotta let it sit 24 hours in the upright position. Then I can put it in. This will be ready to go. So we got this, we can set it on. That's good. Mylar. I'll just put this off here. For you guys who didn't see the repair on this, the repair came out good. I didn't put any clear on it because we got humid days going right now. But for the most part, you won't be able to tell that it had a hole in it. We got 4 views. And I am going to start taking the wheels off on transport so I don't poke any more holes in these stupid things. Chat rate is 0, 8 viewers. So let's swap camera positions here. I'll go over to this. It's been about, I don't know, 6-8 months since I built this. So it's good to go for a sand out. I really need to get some 5,000 grit sandpaper. Shit, I had a hole here, now I got a hole over there. It's known as the oh well. The hazards of owning an I-beam. Where is that? Right there. Hey, Gary.
Hi. Polishing her up, I see.
Yeah, I got the stuff to put the carumba together. Let's see. We can do that on this stream too.
How was your weather today?
It's all right. I mean, windy, but it was all right.
A little windy, yeah. Okay.
I think we might be going flying tomorrow. I'm not sure.
We're going to have rain tomorrow. So had a pretty good day today at the field, so windy like so. But
Get that other airplane out and get it started going back together. I just fixed the tank for it. I put this one back together. All my stuff is ready to go. Every airplane I got. Well, that's not true.
yeah. Do you have a hole in that one too, someplace?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was right.
Oh, in your flap one that's
Right here.
all right. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I remember saying that. Yeah.
It needs to be cleared because it's got overspray. I could buff it, but then I'd have to worry about the compound. I need to paint that black line again to hide that silk span and clear it and then polish it. And it'll just dope is easy. Let me get the other one. Wonder how many people we're going to have on Memorial Day.
I don't know.
Steve texted me, are we having one? Yeah, we are, I guess.
I got a question for you. When
Okay.
I go down to the stop meeting button, I've got close the meeting for all. And then down below, I got a gray one that says leave the meeting. Now, I've been afraid if I leave the meeting, then I wouldn't be there to be able to close the meeting. So I've been letting them go.
That's right.
So,
When
uh,
you are getting ready to sign off, you close the meeting for all, and then a button will pop up, end on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I don't remember seeing that coming out.
Okay. What is that? Hmm. Oh well. Oh shoot, I need an extension for this one too. Damn. Damn. Maybe somebody will buy this from me at Brodak.
Here comes Steve.
Yeah.
Hi, Gary. Hi,
Hi.
Bob.
What's up?
More of the same.
Are we flying tomorrow?
I think so. I don't know if I want to fly the Crossfire before I fix the flap, though.
Why? You've been flying it.
Well, I flew it that one day, but it does some squirrely stuff, especially on the outside, like on the horizontal 8 and the vertical 8 came in on me. Of course, that was probably the tail, which I haven't done yet.
Hmm. We are having an issue here.
You are having an issue?
Yeah. Don't want to go in there. I know how to fix it.
Figured.
Okay, let's get the plastic hammer.
Uh-oh.
I got a hammer for everything. I don't understand why. Nope, I better drill it. Better drill it. I know this is Super Tiger 60 Venturi.
Hmm.
Bought from Jim Lee, so water on the floor. I think when you get them flaps, you need to bring them over here and let me do them.
Okay, I got the wood.
How light is the sheeting?
I don't know. I didn't weigh it.
Oh,
Should,
man.
should I weigh it? I didn't have a scale when I was there.
They need to be 6 grams a sheet. There's Joe Gilbert, Joe iPad.
Hey,
Hello,
Joe.
guys. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Getting excited for Brodeck. I'm getting everything ready to go.
So I'm looking forward to it a lot. I've been out flying my airplanes and got them ready and new lines made for them and handles adjusted and all that good stuff, you know.
All right.
Oh, boy.
There just three of us? I don't know.
4 of us.
Four of us. Ah, here we go. All right, Gary's there. Well done.
Yep.
I see. So what's Sparky working on?
I'm getting all my airplanes ready to go for the season where I don't have to do nothing. I got them all done except this one.
Yeah.
Well, I got to put this tank back in the Orange Viper, but I just made this tank today.
We just came home from Nebraska today. Spent all day driving. It's all good. It's all good.
What was in Nebraska? What kind of?
Niece's wedding.
Oh, that's not a contest.
We had a good. No, it was fun though. We had a good time.
Good
to
weather
see
too?
everybody. No, it rained off and on all
Rain.
the way home.
Oh,
It's cold up there, man. What was it, Colleen, one morning? 48 or 50 in the morning?
43 one morning.
43. You didn't wear no shorts. I didn't. I had to wear jeans. It's cold. But got there, made it back home. All's good.
It gets
So what
cold.
is that airplane, Robert?
What's that?
What is that airplane?
This is the Carumba.
Carumba. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sell it, Brodeck.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Was it Aero Tiger 60 or something?
No, well, no, it's just a Super Tiger 60.
Super Tiger. I met Super Tiger. And he's drilling a hole through it. In.
The Venturi. The Venturi doesn't quite, the spray bar doesn't quite clear the Venturi. Jim Lee did it. No big deal. I'll fix it.
Just drill a hole out. Put an O-ring in it. Smash it down.
That's right.
I always wondered how important that O-ring was anyhow. I never thought that was a big deal to begin with. Time they get a little oil in them and dirt and debris, they're not going to leak much. If they do leak somewhat, difference it make.
It doesn't.
It's going through the inventory some way or other.
Okay. Try this.
Look at these fancy tools he's got, guys.
Yeah, Harbor Freight. All my good stuff's in the garage. All my good stuff's in the garage.
You got a good drill.
Yeah, it's decent.
That's a decent drill.
I still got my original Makita that I used to build with.
I had a Makita when I built my airplane 25 years ago, and I finally threw it away last year. I said, I'm tired of this. The battery wouldn't hold charge, and I said, I'm done. I threw it away.
Now, this is a little bit older Makita than that. It's a plug-in electric.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. I bought this when I built my airplane. The old blue Makitas, they were good back in the day.
Can't believe it still won't go. Yeah, I guess
Still won't go.
we're gonna drill it with the next size bigger drill.
Was the case big enough?
Case is big enough. Just drilling the Venturi. What the hell happened to the jam nut? Shit.
It's on the floor.
Probably, but you never find it here. I will guarantee it goes now. Pretty tight though.
That's all right. Tight's good.
Yeah, there we go.
We're gonna trim that now too and sell it trimmed and ready to fly? Or is it already trimmed out?
Yes, no, it's not trimmed out.
No.
Got one flight on it.
How's yours coming, Steve? Did you get a coat of clear on it yet?
No,
No. Does it need it?
yes,
Yes.
also flew it.
You flew it? Well done.
Yeah.
How'd it do?
If it's better than anything else I got, but it's got some issues. The top of the vertical stabilizer is tilted inboard,
Rudder.
outboard, which is bad. And I got couple of warped flaps.
The flaps are harder than the rudder. Elevator warped or rudder warped? What'd you
The
say was
rudders,
warped?
rudder and the flap.
Well, the rudder's turned in?
No, it's turned so that the plane comes in.
Move the lead outs back.
No, we're gonna fix the rudder.
You could steam it and bend it back where it
Yeah,
belongs, I
yeah,
suspect.
that's haven't done that, but yes.
But that's doable. You know that T6 I flew forever at Robert?
Yeah,
It had a banana bowed the wrong way, just like everybody says won't work. It was bowed in. Had a banana fuselage. But the elevator was straight with the flap, so I left it alone. The rudder's easy, I think. That's just steam. You could get 2 sticks of wood, pinch it and steam it and bend it, and it'll stay, man. That won't be no problem. Robert
rudder won't be a
Sting-
problem. The flaps are a huge problem. We got new flaps coming. We're gonna build a new set of flaps for it.
Flaps are evil. They just are. Flaps are trouble. And you could straighten them and tweak them and twist them, but they just seem like they won't stay. I've never had a whole lot of luck tapering flaps and getting them to be true when I get done. There's an art to that I don't have yet.
Well, these are foam flaps, built up flaps.
Oh, they'll be good ones.
And how they screwed up was putting the wood on wrong.
Well, I think you can, if you use dope on flaps that's got foam, you need to be real careful to get everything wet at the same time and let them sit in a jig to go dry straight. Because I think dope can pull that wood and flap.
Well, that's for certain, but that's not what happened.
That's not what happened. Okay. I built a piece of wood and then got hinge pockets in the wood going into flap, put the flap on that and then dope it on that called a jig as such to keep it straight while it dries. Did they do this? They twisted, Stephen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much does that wood weigh, Steve?
Looks like it's 8 or 9 pound wood.
Oh, God. How many grams for each piece?
19 or 20.
19 grams for a piece of 3-inch wide?
No, they're 4-inch wide. Four-inch wide.
By 36.
Wonder if Randy's got any spray bars.
Well, that's good news.
So I
They,
wonder, if he does.
Yeah, I wonder.
the 3/8 piece is 5.5.
That's good. That's
The
your leading
16th.
edge for the flaps.
Yeah, 16ths are more. And there what didn't have too many. They didn't have any at Mark Twain. So I ended up having to go to Schaefer's, and they didn't have many 16th. And I was looking more for grain than because I didn't have a scale with me, and I'm no good at weighing.
Well, we can
I
make
think-
them out of what you got. Just the airplane's getting heavier and heavier, you know.
They're using that's Bud Nosen.
What about Bud Nosing?
That's where the wood's from.
That's good.
That's what Mark Twain's going to get. They're selling out of all their. Of course, they don't have. They used to get SIG. They can't get SIG anymore. So
Robert, you can get all the needle valves you want from Dub Jet. All it takes a credit card and an email.
there you go.
But they are a little bit bigger diameter. Just a kiss, I'm pretty sure. I have to go out and measure them, but I think they're a kiss bigger diameter.
That is Super Tiger. They're a PA needle valve and spray bar.
Yeah. I think, aren't the road jets a kiss bigger than a PA?
No, they're
They're same?
bigger,
Okay.
bigger than a Super Tiger, just a kiss bigger.
Yeah.
I'm sure the same guy in China is making them for Dub that made them for Randy.
I imagine Dub makes his own. I suspect. He makes his own cans for his pipes. He's got machinery to do all that. He doesn't, put a piece of brass rod in there, hit the button, it comes out, I bet.
Hmm.
Robert's fighting that pretty hard.
Yeah, he is.
Nah.
What does Dixon and Lee have for needle valves, Sparky?
I've bought Jim Lee's stuff before.
I have too.
I mean, I got
Brodak has
Yeah,
needle
but-
valves. You can get a needle valve at Brodak too.
I'm looking for needle valve spray bar combinations, 80 threads per inch.
I don't know what that'd be.
These are 40.
I know that the PAs and the road jets are hard to beat. There's nothing better, I don't think.
I'll be damned. I put this thing together backwards.
180 out,
Yeah.
but don't drill a hole on the other side.
No.
They just take 2 minutes to change it.
Yeah, I fought it pretty hard getting it in.
Is that a standard Super Tiger needle valve with the hex head square flat on top?
Yeah.
Can you still buy? I probably have 2 or 3. Those aren't, or you don't see those everywhere anymore.
This is antique stuff I'm building.
That's right. 15 years ago, there's lots of Super Tiger needle valves running around,
Oh, yeah.
but I ain't seen one in a while.
I like antique stuff.
I like stuff to work.
Yeah. My Super Tigers work every time. Not a big deal. Just one flip and go.
I
But-
think El Dorado. Go ahead.
This is the kind of thing you got to do to be out there and do a one flip start. is make sure everything's right in the shop.
Yeah, for sure. I think at El Dorado, I don't think I might have had one flight I had to flip them twice. Maybe. The Mustang may not, I missed the prop, didn't get a good hit on it. Put it back and hit it again, and it ran. Most of my engines start first flip. That Venus engine, if you flood it, it'll kick the prop off. It's got so much, whatever it's got. You have to be a little careful with that, not flood it.
There we go. Okay. More like it. Got any carburetor cleaner? Got brake cleaner. I'll brake clean this off.
Don't ever beat something, just get a bigger hammer.
Mm.
Yeah, this is plastic.
I see that. I'm just messing with you. You're doing
Hmm.
good. Let me show you my Falcon. I got my Falcon painted. I can learn how to do this. I'm not
Hang
sure
on.
how to do this.
And spotlight for everyone.
How do I turn it around?
I just turned the computer around.
There you go.
There.
Your Falcon, that looks exactly like a little blue.
It's a JD Falcon. It's painted
Huh.
like blue. It weighs 31 ounces without the tail wheel and engine and tank, and the hinges aren't glued in. But I'm gaining.
So it's 43 to 45 ounces, right?
I'd say 45. You'd be doing good, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
I think so. Time you get LA 46 in the tank and a prop and spinner, you're going to gain. You're going to lay at least 16 ounces, I think, minimal. Depends on what you need for weight, nose and tail, and all that. Whatever it is, it'll be. It's a pretty good size wingspan. I think they're 6'10" or 6'20", aren't they?
56-inch wingspan.
I can't tell you that right offhand. I can go measure it. I'll tell you.
I think they're 56 or 58, somewhere in there.
I think so.
Probably got a 10 1/4 inch root.
You ask me numbers, I can't tell you. The root's 12 7/8
With the flaps or without?
with flaps.
So what is it without?
10 exactly.
Yeah.
The outboard wing is 26.5 to the middle of the wing.
That's
Inboard wing is 27. 27 and 26.
that's small, and that's 50
It's offset.
to 53 inches. $54 probably.
54 exactly. Mid span is 11. 54 times 11.
Get your calculator. I got my hand.
I got to sit down to do it.
1, 2, 3 1/2.
54 times 11. 54 times 11.
54 times 11 is 594.
So 600 close. I just measured what I thought was midpoint. I could have been off a little. Bowman had one time with the Brodak 40 in it that flew awful good. Richard had one that had a Rojet 40 rear exhaust, and it flew pretty good. I think they're a decent old airplane for a classic.
How is old Joe Bowman?
Okay. He's slowing down a little.
Haven't seen his green and cream airplane in a long time.
Long time. Been a minute. It's been a minute. It sure has. He's still building a lot of rubber band models and playing. He still piddles. He's still piddling.
He's a piddler, huh?
He's a piddler. He likes to build them. He's a good builder, Robert. That boy can build an airplane.
Yeah, I know. Well, whoever buys this airplane's getting a Scott Dinger muffler.
That's $65 probably right there.
More than that, probably.
How long have you had it?
Forever. Long time. And $100 set of Tetra wheels.
They're unattainium anymore.
That's right. These are the big ones. These are the 2.5 Tetra wheels with a hard rubber down the center.
Uh-huh.
So they don't,
Aluminum frames.
yep, so they don't scrub off.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Those are good wheels.
Yeah.
I had a couple sets of those on T-Rexes years ago and gave them away with the airplanes, I think.
Now, they're not getting a Gardner 60, but the 60 is a good one. I had this one in the Junar for a long time. You can't wear them out if you use the right fuel.
They're going to run a lot of flights.
Yeah. The way we run them, bah.
We're not working them hard. I don't know. I don't know what the real horsepower. Do you think we're using those engines at 60% of what they can do?
I wouldn't even think that much. 50 maybe.
Maybe not. You might be right. Maybe not that much even.
Because I run mine slobber and rich. I mean, they sound like they're screaming on the ground, but when you let it go, it unloads and it just blah.
Whatever it takes to pull the airplane properly. That's the goal.
Yeah. So is that JD Falcon is electric?
No, heavens no. LA-46.
Yes. Good job.
Heavens no. I mean, I bought me an electric Blue Max and I got buyer's remorse. It looks like too much dang trouble. Mickey Mouse collets and all that crap.
The spinner?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I can't even get the dang collet to tighten up. Whole thing pisses me off. I'm kind of mad at it.
I think the biggest drawback to electric is the battery. It just they get that sorted out, it'll be decent.
Well, I even bought a bunch of those lithium batteries, and they're the ticket. No, it's not called lithium. It's something else. Is it ion? What's the
Lithium
one you
ion.
put
Lithium
six
ion?
together? Is that what it is?
Those are 18650s.
That's right. 1860 dash something's what I got, just like I was told. But you got to build them then. But they claim you just leave them charged. Yeah, there's no downside to leaving them charged for a month before you fly them.
Well, that's what's in this. That's what's in this smoker right here. Is two 18650s.
They're supposed to be just. They don't care what. They just work for. I don't know. They're supposed to be a lot better deal. Then I mean, I'm not interested in going and charging 10 batteries, go to the field and fly 6 of them, then come home and discharge the other ones back down to storage again. That whole thing's a problem for me.
Did you have Will tomorrow make them?
No, Hill's got them right now, but we haven't made them yet. I don't know what I'm going to do. The way that the Blue Max, you got to front mount it, and you got to put a washer or two behind the front mount. Now the engine's back a 16th or a little better, and the shaft short getting to the collet. Nah, the whole thing just
They sell a longer shaft. You can just press that shaft out.
can you? But then you got more leverage on everything.
Exactly.
Looks like to me you need to turn the motor around backwards and bolt that little 3 bolts into it and put a shaft with a quarter 28 on it, then you got something up front you can work with.
Yeah.
That's what Steve did.
No,
That
that's
looks
not what
like-
Steve
looks like a
did. That's
better
what
deal.
Steve should have done. Rear mount the motor.
No, rear mount.
Yeah, if you rear mount the motor, then you put that piece on that Joe was just talking
Got
about.
3 bolts
You don't
on
have
it.
to screw with all that other stuff.
Then you got a quarter 28 bolt you can tighten the dang prop with and use any spinner you want.
Yeah, that's what I got on, let's see, what's mounted that way? I think the Blue Angel's that way, Bob.
Yeah.
That's a better deal, I think. But you
But-
got to plan ahead for that.
Yeah, yeah.
I-
And
I
I
might
think,
fix it. I don't know. I ain't decided.
there, maybe not anymore, but I think at one point there was a debate about whether you needed to support the front of the motor or not if you rear mounted it.
I don't have a clue.
It was one of those 50-50 deals. Half the people you asked said, oh, yeah, you definitely got to support the front of that motor if you're rear mounting it. And the other half said, nah, it doesn't make a bit of difference. So I
I'm
don't
not
know.
educated enough to tell you.
I'm not either.
Well, you better have a good firewall and it better be glued in good because I did that to that Viper that you got the profile that I was building.
Yeah.
That was Viper 8. And I got, kind of wild-eyed into going electric and I converted that from a PA 65. The airplane was 48 ounces all up, PA 65.
Wow.
And it flew really great. And I got conned into putting an electric motor in. I put the electric motor in and it broke the mount that I made, the firewall that it was bolted to because it was rear mounted. There's a lot of leverage on that when you give it up. So I was
That's
doing
right.
it when I give it a square 8, I nosed up like that. And the engine went, the engine canted up and the airplane went down and hit the pancake.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness. Well, there's leverage on that back there. There ain't no doubt
Yeah.
about that. And it's
That's-
got to be glued to your fuselage good. A little 1/8 something ain't going to hold all that. You got to have more meat back there glued to that.
It was a 1/4-inch piece of plywood with
But the plywood came away from the airplane, didn't it?
yeah.
The plywood came unglued. You need like some kind of 1/4 inch quarter stock around it or something to get more surface area. I don't know what.
I think I had triangle pieces in there and everything. I
Yeah.
can't remember. It's been a long
Oh my goodness.
2008 or 9 or whenever I flew that airplane. That was a good airplane. I screwed it up. Won't be building any more Vipers that light. Can't get the wood. All that wood
No.
came from Riley Wooten. Riley had-
Blanchard's got some good wood down there. He got from somebody.
Who?
John Blanchard bought some good wood here a while back from somebody that's really nice. I can't, was it a guy, kind of got an English name maybe? I have to
Bob's
think.
our uncle,
No,
Elliot Scott.
Elliot Scott. That's who he
That's-
bought that from. He
That's
has,
Bob's our uncle. Your uncle.
is that right?
Yeah.
He had some good wood when John bought that.
I bought a shit pile from him.
You should have got some good wood then.
But I'm out of good wood. I got lots of wood. I got boxes in the garage. I got boxes on the shelf, or wood on the shelf. But it ain't good.
It's not 5-pound wood.
No, I don't have any 5-pound. I might have 1 or 2 sticks left if I go through them all.
But not lots. Yeah, I get it.
Not enough to build an airplane.
Yes. Oh, I understand.
So that's why I kind of been holding off on building another one. I need to order about 10 sheets of 1/8 inch for ribs and some 1-inch block so that I can cut leading and trailing edges. Not only that, I got to make a run to the lumber yard and buy some more pine for spars.
Is spruce lighter than pine?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know either.
Doesn't matter. I've always used white pine, and that's what I'm going to continue to use.
Well, you might save 2 ounces if you use something lighter. You're just using a little bitty stick, though, aren't you?
No, I use it's 2 inches wide. My spar in this is 2 inches wide by 58 inches long by a 1/4 inch thick. But it's whittled out, it's hollowed out to where it's nothing, weighs an ounce.
Right.
Put it in there.
Right.
And the reason why that I will continue to use this is I've had so many successful airplanes with that spar in it. I'm not going to chance build an airplane
There
around
you
a
go.
spar that I don't know if it's going to fold up or not.
Yeah. Anything pine will hold, spruce will hold better, I think. They don't build airplanes out of pine,
Hmm.
spruce and Douglas fir.
Somebody built a twister out of, was it spruce?
What do you think Douglas fir is?
It's Christmas tree wood.
It's pine.
Well, okay, I disagree, but whatever.
Not a hardwood, it's a softwood.
It's a softwood. You want airplane wood to give a little. That they're. I don't know. They figured that out back in the 20s.
I need to find some maple. I need a slab of maple, foot long, foot wide by 1 inch thick by, I don't know, 4 foot. They got oak at Lowe's, but I'm afraid that wouldn't be very good for motor mounts.
You need rock hard maple, don't you?
Right. Because it's closed cell. I mean, it's real tight.
Yeah, rock hard maples. I think that's what you need. I don't know.
I bought maple at Lowe's and cut it up. They're out of it though. They don't have none.
There's specialty shops around Tulsa. I can't tell where they are, but they got all kinds of stuff, woods. But it's high dollar stuff. I don't know where you get rock hard maple.
Just any maple will do. It's because of the grain, the texture of the wood. Oak is just too loose grain. It's hard, but it's loose. I just take it out there to my table saw and mill it out, and then I run it through my planer till it's perfect.
What do they make cutting boards out of? Do they make cutting boards out of rock hard maple?
They
I
make
don't
it
know.
out of any hardwood. They can, shit, I've seen them do Purple Heart, wood.
Purple heart, yeah.
I can use, I've seen bamboo ones too.
Oh, bamboo is hard.
Ah,
One time the Nats, they gave away classic and old time trophies that were made out of bamboo. And they're really cool looking.
I got one.
Cool. It's nice, isn't it?
I'll show it to you. Yeah, I could cut this up and make motor mounts out of it. There it is right there.
That's them. Aren't they pretty looking?
Yeah.
It's cool.
is that like wood burnt
No?
I think it's laser cut, isn't it? Or Sparky?
laser?
Yeah. But I
Well,
cheated
it's
on
wood
this
burn.
one. I cheated on this one. I took black dope and put in the
Ah,
thing and then wiped it off. I finished their job for them
mm.
There you go.
because I'll show you what it originally looked like. Cause I got another one here. That's not finished. Someday I'll get around to finishing it. They start out like that.
Oh, okay.
So as I said, I finished their job for them. Artist Cinevision.com, Anderson, Indiana. But hell, these didn't take nothing to make. They just clamped a piece of wood down to the 3-axis router and hit the button. That's it.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah, they probably pump it out in 5 minutes.
I'm sure mine are out to the airport in a box to be put on the wall. At one time, I thought I'm going to put the whole wall full of trophies, and I thought, too much trouble.
Well, I got a Tulsa glue blobber first place trophy on the wall here.
Hmm.
And I got some other Nats trophies over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 over there, and so I got 7 trophies from the Nats. Not from the big show, but
The big show's hard to come by.
the best I've shown in the big show is 17th.
I can't tell you what I've done. Oh, I done fourth,
Yeah, I thought
fourth,
5th.
seventh, and eighth, and 10th, and I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to get in that top 5. There's some boys up there that can fly. No doubt.
Let me tell you, as long as you got the same judges looking at the same pattern with the same guys flying, you're going to get the same winners.
Those guys can fly.
They can fly, but you're not going to see much deviation with the same set of eyes looking at the same mistakes and scoring like they do. You're not going to see any difference.
I don't have no complaint with the judges. I always thought I've been treated fairly. I think they do sometimes. They pay a lot of money for square corners, and that's what the book says. So I guess you can't argue that much.
Yeah, not all of us are impressed by too tight corners.
Well,
Some of
this,
us look at rounds and are
yes,
impressed when they're
Yeah.
round and not ovals or footballs or
There you go.
Matt Colin was flying.
eggs.
Matt was flying some good rounds at the Worlds. Matt was flying. Well, you was there, Mark. Did you watch Matt fly any? I thought he flew some good rounds.
Who you
Matt
asking?
Colin.
I don't know. The best pattern there, I thought, didn't even, it was 10th. That's Lu Zhang, that was a pretty pattern.
She could fly, dude.
Yep.
She could fly.
They want to see you stall the airplane, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're fluttering and going up. That's terrible.
I thought they flew too low a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought they should have been penalized for too low. But it is what it is.
I think those European judges are impressed by that.
I told somebody, I said, if you'd have put some 4-foot tall plywood around the circle in every eighth of a turn, by the third day, there wouldn't have been 10 airplanes left. I mean, take off and slide them out there at 3 foot tall, then pull them back to land. There wouldn't have been 10 airplanes left by the third day.
I'll tell you, in the 60s, they used to fly real low, like 1 foot.
Did they really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like Mark. It's called precision aerobatics.
Right.
There's more to it in the corner. Shape and size.
I still would like to get not the high school, the college guys, the algebra, not algebra, but geometry students over there to judge. And they say, no, they can't judge. Look, why can't they judge? They can see a square, they can see a round, they can see an 8. And then they don't know the pilot's name. I'd like to see how it shakes out.
The stuff that Mark's doing with teaching and the video stuff there is to look at and see, you could get a long way in the afternoon. You know, you could get a long way in an afternoon.
I give up. Whatever I get is what I get. And that's it.
That's all it can be, Robert. It's all it can be.
When
Go
you
do
got-
your job and let them do theirs and have
You got-
spaghetti for supper. It'll be okay.
You got people getting appearance points that don't deserve it. You got
I gotta let the dog out. I'll be back.
you know what I'm saying, Joe.
I got to do my job and let them do theirs. I can't do them both. I've been a judge on the other end, and you sit there and you get what you get, man. I've given 14s and 29s and 37s on the same scorecard. If they fly it, they get it. I don't care who they are.
Well, you're one of the rare ones. I'm telling you.
I think it's harder to judge intermediate than a expert because they can get down into the teens pretty quick
Well,
on some maneuvers.
let me ask you this. Now, Steve can attest to this. Last year, when I got third in N30, I got 14 for a takeoff from one judge. The other judge gave me a 37.
I can't fix that, but I don't like it.
14. You'd almost have to crash. I mean, that's an attempt. It's a little better than an attempt. I got a 37 from one judge and a 14 from the other. And I ended up third, and the judge that was, scoring the correct way said, how did you lose? I said, I have no clue. I know exactly how. And if that guy is judging again this year, I won't fly. It's just useless.
Did we have the same judges for both of them? Classic and N30? Yeah, we flew
No.
the same. Huh?
No,
Had different judges? Okay.
you flew on a different circle.
Okay. I didn't remember.
Yeah, you flew on a different circle.
I'm going to take the Cavalier and the Ringmaster back up there and fly Classic in no time, then fly PA with the Cavalier again. It'd be all right. It'll be all right.
I know. I didn't waste $100 this year. I'm just entering N30. So if I don't fly, it only costs me 15 plus gas.
Oh, really? You have to pay the 65 to be there?
No, $15.
I did not know that. I think it's 65 twice.
That's right.
Plus 15 and 15 for old time. Each of them 15 in it. Or
That's
is it
right.
10? Yeah.
See, I had to pay $15 as to the AMA instead of the 65. And then I got to give the $15 to the N30 people. So that's $30.
$30. Okay.
And that's a whole lot better than $130 plus. I mean,
Yeah,
And
I
I-
get it.
I got no place to stay because I got no money and John's passed away. So I'm not staying there. So I'll just drive in there for a day and drive back.
Are you serious? How far is that?
It's 300 miles.
That's 6 hours each way, dude.
Yeah.
That's a long ways. You can't make it there and back in the same day.
Oh, yeah, I've done it already.
24 hours of driving or 12 hours of driving.
That's right. I've done it already. I know I can do it.
Ooh, man. That's a tough gig. I try to find a roommate.
Well, for Brodak, Bob Zambelli and I are staying together.
Okay, Bob's going.
Zambelli, he always goes.
Well, I've seen him not show up too.
Yeah,
Okay.
he called me. He said, well, now that your buddy's gone, do you want to split a room? Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, buddy. Absolutely. Doesn't make a big difference, I think. Hotel rooms this year in Brodak's a little expensive, I thought.
$800 for 7 days.
They're a little high, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're up there.
I got it for 3 days, and it's high enough.
We got Saturday through Saturday. So we're leaving. We'll be checking out Saturday morning. Then
Now,
fly-
Phil, you're still
Yeah.
wanting to buy my molds, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll drag them up there.
Those guys are eating.
I'm hungry, Joe.
How are you?
Ice
Doing
cream.
fine, crazy as ever.
Yeah.
The best ice cream at the Nats is next to the miniature golf course and the batting cage, right across from Super 8.
Mhm.
That ice cream is to die for. Man, that's good stuff.
We had ice cream last year next to an Italian place over there by the hotels. And that ice cream
Mhm.
was just melting your mouth. I mean, it was creamy, creamy, creamy ice cream. It was good too.
That was good. We
You ever
had
ate that
too.
Italian place over on the north
Mhm.
side of the street? Next door, there's an ice cream shop in there. It's
I miss
pretty good.
Charlie Reeves making ice cream at the motel.
Oh man, me too.
At Brodak's, remember, I went brain dead. He made ice cream every year at Brodak's.
Charlie
He's-
Reeves or Terry? You talking about Terry
Terry
McDowell?
Terry McDowell made
Terry
ice cream.
McDowell and I made it a couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Several years.
And then
He
the
was-
pies, we'd end up with the pies from Jerry Phelps.
Jerry Phelps, Mary.
Man, them were good.
There's, go make your memories, boys. That's what you're going to have when you get old.
Yep.
Make
What do
them.
you mean when I get?
You wait till
I
you're
I think I
85
have
or
arrived,
90.
brother.
Wait till you're 90, then you won't be making no memories.
Mhm.
Be making new memories every day.
Yeah. Meet new people every day, even when you meet the same people every day.
That's right. Get to watch a new movie every day, every hour.
I don't want to go like that.
Me either.
No.
What airplane is that?
Carumba.
Oh, that's Carumba. Cool.
Yeah, I'm putting it back.
It's- He told me it's for sale.
Oh yeah.
He wants to sell it.
Too expensive. Gotta be. What are you gonna ask for it, Sparky?
$1,000.
Well, I
What's
wouldn't
that?
build one for you for $1,000.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. Wendy, back when Wendy was doing it was 1,500,
Yeah.
and it didn't come with a motor. That's a nice airplane. I remember watching that one being built.
It's good looking. It's pretty nice.
The wheels are worth $20 a piece.
Shit, they were $50 a piece. Set your wheels, find me a set for $100.
I don't think there are anymore.
No.
No, I don't think there are either. I've got 2 sets downstairs, and
Well, there's two
I've got
sets.
I got two people trying to talk me out of them right now.
Are
That
they
look good on my new airplane. Look stupid. They look good
Dang
on my
right.
new
I'll
airplane.
$1,000 a piece. You can have them.
Are
Yeah,
they,
that's
I
it.
think these are 3 inch, maybe these are 3s.
Mine are 2.5.
Yeah, these are 2.5 too. 2.5. They got the
2.5 's right.
hard rubber in the center so you don't wear them out.
Yeah.
You can still
Yep.
roll the edges off of them if you pull their plate when you take off.
Oh yeah.
I've seen them. I've seen them wear the sides off of them. People pulling their airplanes too hard when they take off.
God, my Nobler just absolutely wore the inside edge off of them, but it's not from takeoffs. When it lands, it would run to the outside of
outside.
circles. Yeah.
You got to walk
yeah.
with it just a little
So you
bit.
have to walk with the airplane. Yeah.
Just walk with it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Rubbing.
A silly game we play.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of fun.
I like flying my airplanes.
It's
I'm
kept
looking
us
for-
busy.
I'm looking forward to Brodax, Phil. I am. I'm taking 2
Well, I
airplanes
am. But you realize we got to leave not this Sunday,
a
but
week from this
Saturday.
week from this. We're leaving
Saturday.
a week from Friday. We're leaving a week from Friday.
Oh, well, it
We're
takes me
gonna book
6
for it.
hours, 6.5 hours to get there.
It takes us 2
Takes-
days.
Yeah, it takes you considerably longer. Well, you
Yeah.
live considerably further away.
It's a long ways.
Steve, you still
Mhm.
coming over on the 4th, right?
I thought it was the 5th.
It's the
Did you
4th.
change? Did you
Yeah.
change it?
I need to hook up on the 4th.
I gotta change it in my calendar.
Oh boy. I'll hook up on the 4th. I'll park it in front and leave that night. I'll leave in the middle of the night.
Yeah, yeah, you originally said Thursday the 5th. So I will move
That's-
that.
That's when I'm leaving, Thursday the 5th at night, in the middle of the night.
Okay, so I'm gonna come over on Wednesday the 4th.
Correct.
Got it.
And where you going? You leaving for Brodax on Thursday, Robert?
Yeah, I'm stopping at, make it 2 stops, one in Indianapolis at Danny's house and one at John's house to pick up a bunch of stuff to sell.
Fair enough. Good show.
I said that I'd sell all that stuff for his wife, give her the money on the way back through.
Yep.
What all she's selling? Any idea?
I got a
General
good-
idea.
I do have an
Huh?
idea, but I ain't going through it. I mean, I know what John's got or had.
Yeah, but you don't know what his kid already took and sold it to whatever
Well,
sale.
That is a problem. He took most of the engines and he gave them away.
Yeah.
Gave them away.
Hmm.
K-77s for $75, shit like that.
Oh boy, I should have been there. Hello. I don't even fly glow anymore, and I'd have bought a couple of those.
Yeah. So we'll see what he's got. I'm getting all the tooling and feather cut, and that's coming home with me, but John's got a lot of other stuff, wheels and spinners and just a lot of shit. So we'll see what we got.
Did he already sell his airplanes too?
Nope, they're there. Whatever it is, I'm not worried about it because it's not mine. It belongs to her,
Yeah.
Airplanes are hard to sell, y'all, to get what they're worth.
Well, I won't sell one for less than, well, I did sell one for $500, but didn't have an engine in it. Because
Yeah.
Mark didn't have nothing to fly, and then I find out he did have something to fly. Mark had a bad
Next time.
accident last year. He crashed. How many airplanes, Steve?
3 at least.
Yeah, 3 at least.
Well, next time you decide to build a Cobra and sell it, you let me know because I'll be in line to get it.
I'm afraid that ship sailed. I think it was 2 years ago.
Hmm.
I brought one and sold it.
I'm getting ready
Well,
to
Roy
build
and
one
Mark showed up as well.
sooner or later.
What kind of Bearcat progress we got, Mark?
He's gonna stay on you about that.
I got more about the local fly-in, but the Bearcat, here's what it looked like
Last week.
That
last
was
week.
Friday, right?
I'm working on the rear end here, and I molded the two pieces,
Yeah.
Oh,
and then I trimmed them down this weekend to get them to fit right. And that
how
was
do you trim them down?
well, you take your best guess at where something's going to be, and you cut a little bit bigger than that, and then you try to fit it and see how you did, and then you trim a little bit more, and you repeat that process. It's more art
Thought I
than
was gonna hear,
science.
thought I was gonna hear sandpaper.
I use that some. Sometimes I use a ruler and a X-Acto knife.
You keep cutting it down till it's too little and you start over if you ain't careful.
Well, what I do when I get when
Yeah, Joe, I
it's
get
too
that.
little, I glue another piece back on it, and then I repeat the process.
He's experienced.
There
I
you
can
go.
tell. He's
There you go.
experienced. I can tell. I love it. One time
Yeah.
I was building an airplane. I was fussing to Oliver. I said, "Man, I'm so sick of every time I turn, I make a mistake, and I got to figure out how to fix it without gaining weight. And I'm tired of making mistakes." I said, "I made every mistake you can make." He laughed at me on the telephone. He said, "Joe, get what you ain't built enough airplanes to make all the mistakes yet." I said,
Right.
"Dang it."
Anyway, that's the Bearcat. But last weekend, last Saturday, we had a fly-in
There's Keith Russell. I
at Lynn Boss's. Yeah,
recognize him anywhere. That's his airplane too, isn't it?
yeah. He bought a foamy Focke-Wulf TA-152, and it's electric. He's refitting it to take it to the Nationals for fun scale,
Good
Oh,
for him.
all right.
and he's
Good
got
for him.
he's got retractable gear and flaps and the whole bit.
Well done.
Wow.
Well
I
done.
didn't make it down there myself because the weather looked kind of iffy, and I decided I didn't want to take a chance. It's 80-mile drive,
Mm,
but it turned out like the wind held off and the rain held off, so they got a decent day of flying. And here's Keith flying the Focke-Wulf. There's that. I think after I'm not sure if that's when he landed or when he was taking off, but this is when it's on the ground.
Good
that
looking little
that
airplane.
field looks pretty nice.
It's one of the nicest fields in the whole country. It's Lynn Boss's backyard.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, is that right?
mm,
And Circle's been there 20 years now.
No cracks. That's cool.
Well, it's poured concrete.
Yeah.
He just
Mhm.
redid the infield here with new covering, but he's still got the
What-
concrete pad out there in the middle. So
Go to your first picture you showed. Let me ask you a question. Keep going back. The Bearcat. First picture of the Bearcat.
Bearcat.
Yeah, last week. There, right there. All right, I see the nylon piece behind the push rod that attaches to the slider for the flaps. Yeah, that right there.
Yeah.
Where does it attach? What does that
Um,
hook to?
There's a little ball that bolts on
No,
the
no, I
top
know
of
where
this.
that end attach. Where did the other end attach?
Oh, I got a fitting that I epoxied onto this graphite tube here.
Uh-huh.
It's a little tab that hangs down with a hole in it. It's a little Z joint in there where this piece of wire is crimped.
Yeah, okay.
And once you get it in, it can't come out.
What's the
Yeah, I
sewed
understand
in
what you're
piece? Is that the tail wheel? The
Yeah.
sewed in
Yeah,
piece,
this
the
is the
tail
tail wheel here.
Okay.
See it
Yep.
down here?
Oh, I see now. I thought it had to be, but I didn't see it. I understand. I thought it had to be.
That is a neat system. I like that.
Is that a TA-152 or?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
Long,
Longer
skinny wings and a
fuselage.
1 foot extended fuselage.
I
yeah.
guess they didn't get these things done in time to really use them during the war, but they built some. It's one of
If,
Keith's
if
favorite
the Allies
airplanes.
hadn't come up with the U.S. version of Blitzkrieg, where they sending the bombers over to be a decoy, and the fighters came up after the bombers, and then our fighters went after their fighters. You don't know you don't realize how close we came to losing that dang war. And they came with some ideas that cost us a bunch of bombers, but God, they lost 1,000 people in one day, 400 guys one day and over 1,000 another. And that's 40 bomber crews, guys.
I read
40
I read a
airplanes
book
went down in
about
one
this.
day.
I can't remember the name of the book, but it was one of the recent books on the air war.
Yeah. It was
And
scary.
there were more airmen killed in Europe than there were Marines killed in Pacific.
Yeah.
It was 50,000 to 8th Air Force alone.
Yeah, something
Yeah, that's
like
what
that.
it was, 8th Air
More than-
Force.
8th Air Force lost over 50,000 airmen.
I never realized till I read that today how lucky my dad was to get home.
You know, the interesting thing was if Hitler hadn't have been half crazy when it came to thinking he was a great general and mastermind of war,
Yeah.
we would have had these weapons up and in place a lot sooner, and we might have lost the war.
Oh, I'm telling you.
The
Think about it. They had the
That-
flying wing. They had the two jets.
Rocket power.
262 is the
Yeah.
biggest mistake they made, y'all.
Yeah.
They could have had that. They were flying that in 43, and they kept thinking bomber, bomber. And then it stayed with the fighter in 43, and it made a big difference.
Yeah.
Anyway, controlling scale at the Nats is like, I think it starts on the last day of precision aerobatics.
It starts on Friday,
And so I think I may stay over an extra day just to watch a little bit of the scale.
We may too, Mark. I may have to make the house another day because if Eddie wants to fly, I'm going to stay and fly with him.
Yeah, we can talk about that. But anyway, Keith's planning to go to the Nats with this. So I don't know if he's taking any other airplanes or not, but
Is that foam? Did you say it was foam?
yeah, it's a foamy. It's a, what did Lynn say? It's a company called Flightline.
That's amazing.
They
That's
claim
right.
there was more than 350,000 Americans were in the 8th Air Force in World War II.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
My good friend was in the 8th Air Force with P-47s over Normandy during the invasion. And he told me a lot of, they ran out of targets real quick, so they were told to just go out and take targets of opportunity and trains and whatever they saw. And then they tried to make bombers and dive bombers out of them. And they literally started off with scratches on the canopy, lining up, sitting a certain way, he said, so you could line up on that scratch. And then they got to putting tape on there, and doing it that way because they didn't have a bomb sight or anything for them. They just had the gun sight.
Anyway, a few other pictures that Lynn sent
Ooh,
me.
pretty airplanes.
Here's the flight line. I don't know who this. Anybody know what this is?
Yeah, that's a
Humongous. It's humongous with a funny front end.
Okay, I don't know whose it
I
is.
can't
Lynn-
see the front
Lynn-
end. I gotta. Oh, there we
Lynn
go.
couldn't
That is
remember.
a funny front end. He's got
That's a
inverted
French
engine on
fighter.
it.
That's a French fighter in second position.
Diwatine.
This is Keith's. It's a Madman. He's got it painted like a Diwatine.
Okay.
He's had that.
Wow.
He's flown that many times.
Many
years.
times.
This is Jerry Higgins. I think that's a Pathfinder, I believe. And this,
That's a Stuka right there.
is it, yeah, it's Jerry.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry. I'm blanking on his last name again.
Me too.
That looks like a shoestring or something like that behind him.
Not sure what's back here. Lynn said there were 10 pilots. They had seemed like they got any good flights. There's Jerry
There's
launching.
Higgins right there. That's a
Keith
noisy airplane. Man, that thing's loud.
Keith
What,
gives you a
what
pair of
motor
ears.
is that? It looks like one of those sparkers.
It's a
Yeah, it is.
It's a
I don't-
Orly.
Oh
Nice.
Lord, that is a loud motor.
I don't think it's a sparker, but it's a
No,
really
it's a
loud.
Sparker engine, but he's got a glow plug in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see the guy launching is wearing earplugs.
Well, Keith has these in his box, and he gives them to you if he asks you to launch his plane.
Now, I'll tell you
Otherwise,
what,
You go
I sure
deaf.
wish I'd had a pair of them when I launched that Fox 59 for. I forgot the man's name now.
Tommy
Anyway.
Looper.
I don't know,
No,
I
no,
was
no.
really,
Tommy,
I always
Tommy's
really
never
appreciate it
flown.
when Keith gives me that pair of earmuffs. It really helps.
Always hated to launch a profile with a KMB 30, 35 or 32 on it with the exhaust pointing right in your face.
Yeah. Um,
Noisy and getting greasy
Clayton
all over you.
Smith.
There's
Clayton
Keith.
Smith used to have an All-American senior that had one of those motors had the exhaust on the wrong side, so when it's straight up and down, it was right
Mhm.
toward you in your face.
Mm.
And he ran all caster fuel in that thing. Lord, you were getting castered to death, and the thing was so loud you just couldn't believe it.
I don't like when they put the upright engine and aim the tongue muffler up at you when you launch it. I just,
Well,
want- I just want
probably
to
good.
know.
That
Probably
looks like
good
a
for your-
modified Pathfinder.
It's probably good for your complexion.
Yeah, that's
Bill.
Jerry Higgins' airplane there, and Keith's launching it for him.
It looks like a Pathfinder wing.
Jerry's
Yeah, look
starting
at
it.
that. Look at the elevator and stab too.
That may be different, but
The rudder. Well, they look close enough. I would say that they moved the canopy back and it's basically a Pathfinder.
This one is
Well, look at this. That looks like a Sig Cadet.
no, it's a Sig Senorita.
Well, that's yeah. Well,
It's-
who's the fellow there?
I can't remember his name.
At first, I thought he was Dan McEntee's boy.
No,
no.
no.
It's the haircut, guys.
Lynn said that there's a guy named Rich Jones from Colorado Springs that has this, and I don't know if that's Rich or not. Anyway, he bought this at they have a model RC club called Jeffco Modelers. It's one of the other big clubs in the Denver area, and they have an auction every spring. And he bought this at the Jeffco auction for like $50, and he decided he wanted to make a control line. So
Hmm.
I think it's just a fun flyer. I don't think he can do much in terms of maneuvers, but
Put a bell crank in it and fly it and have fun.
yeah. So
Well, that thing's flat bottom wing, so he ain't gonna do much with it. But
no,
as long as he's having fun, who cares?
That's
yeah.
right.
Well, it's an
50 bucks,
RC
I mean.
plane. You can fly it upside down. So.
It's got an OS 20 in it. It said he bought it for the engine. So for $50, you got a good motor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's incredible what that little motor will pull.
Anyway, like I said, I bailed out and didn't go down there. I wish I had now, but it's too late.
Yeah. That's kind of like I was building a wing for an airplane. Oh, come on, it did it again. I was building a wing for an airplane, and I
They
just
used
threw
to
the
go
thing together. I just threw the thing together. I didn't figure there was any reason to, take any special time with it, because it was just going to be a fun airplane, and why spend any extra time on it? So I just threw the thing together, and it turned out to be the airplane that I fly all the time. It's just so much fun. And every time, without fail, I look at that thing, I think if I just taken my time and finished it right. So
Would
I
it have
finally
flown
found the
any
plans
better?
to it. I finally found the plans to it, and I put it on the list. It's about number 9, but I'm gonna build a new one. It's a scratch built anyway. I'm gonna build another one.
What was the name of it?
Stinger,
Stinger?
my Stinger,
Oh,
my
okay.
Stinger. Yeah, it was not, I mean, it looked nice. It looks nice. It's 30 some years old. It still looks nice. But, and I've got more compliments off the paint job than anything I've done, but with the exception of the stunt wagon, but it's monocoat. It's monocoat and epoxy. I want to do one in hand rub dope and see what I can do with it. I think it'll really be sharp.
Your shoulders
it's just-
really be sore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be worth it. But it's just a twister wing, y'all. It ain't gonna be a super stunner. It's the first plane that I designed, and I just really enjoy flying that plane thing. I don't know how many flights are on that thing. We took it out the other day and burned in 2 or 3 flights, no patterns, just flights. It was too windy. I just want to see if I can get it to run and get the tank cleaned out. You can't believe how much mess came out of that tank. It was,
Yeah.
oh gosh. If you're ever going to clean a tank, clean it out with acetone first and shake that around real good. Then put some 91 alcohol in it and shake that around, pour that out, get rid of that, and then do it again with 91 alcohol. You can get stuff out of there a whole lot quicker than trying to rinse it out with, I'm just putting 2 ounces of fuel in it. Well, it's a 4-ounce tank. And you do that 6 or 7 times. That's too much. You're wasting too much. Just use acetone and alcohol. It works. And acetone will eat dried castor. It softens it up right quick. It also, I'm finding out, does a fine job, as Sparky told me, on ambroid glue. Trying to get the tank out of an old barnstormer to clean it up and put another tank
I
in
wonder
it.
if you took a tank like that and filled it full of acetone and put it in one of those vibrating things that shake water. What's it called?
Yeah, vibrator.
Ultrasonic.
Ultrasonic. If you just
Ultrasonic
put
cleaner.
ultrasonic
Yeah.
and let that vibrate that whole stuff, and I bet that'd clean it out so good quick too. I bet you.
I bet it would too.
You'd be surprised. Ultrasonic, you could throw a tank in there with just plain soapy water, and it would clean it out.
It shakes it.
Wow.
Crap. You know, it gets hot. They'll
Yeah.
only run for so long before they shut off.
I got
It get
ultrasonic right there.
RC tanks.
Here's a tank that I cleaned out today with acetone. And it was, anybody have know what a clunk tank looks like after it's been sitting for a while? It's either pink or yellow or whatever. It restored it back to new again.
Hadn't seen Lynn Burrell in a while.
No. Yeah.
He's
Well,
planning to move to
Wonder how many days he's up to now.
Yeah. Hey, Phil, here's some pictures of that setup for the slider. Here's the bottom of the Bearcat before I got it all covered up. And here's the slider box here.
Yeah.
And there, this silvery wire here is the
Yeah, I
push
see
rod
it
for the
now.
slider.
Oh, okay. You can just wrap something around, wrap a piece of brass
Yeah.
around.
It's a piece
Oh,
of
yeah.
aluminum
Okay.
with a hole.
Yeah.
And I do a Z-bend in the rod here and put it in there.
There we go. Okay.
And
That's
then
what I've been
I-
trying to figure out. That's been puzzling me for months.
And
So-
what does that do, Mark?
So it makes his Raby rudder work.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Raby came up with a very good trick with a Raby rudder, but his
Here it
good
is,
friend
isn't
and flying partner, at least at the Nationals, built
Here,
a
see if
better
you can see
mousetrap.
here's the slider in the back with the cam in it.
Yeah.
With this profile in here is desired rudder action as a function of elevator angle.
Yeah, I was hoping you was gonna have a picture of that. I was gonna get a picture of that.
But his hook's on it. I got a
Can't go
movie here.
wrong.
Watch
Watch,
this.
watch it. Watch it. Just watch it.
That wire goes up the leading edge of the rudder.
Yeah.
It goes into the rudder, yeah.
Isn't that fabulous?
That's some of Mr. Trostle's work.
That
Yep.
boy thinks outside the box right there.
He's I met him for the first time in 1974.
Look at that.
And I thought he was the darndest thing I'd ever talked. He was the darndest person I'd ever talked to then. And he ain't got nothing but better ever since.
He is
Keith
so
is something
cool.
else.
Yeah,
He's
he did
quite
that.
smart.
He did that rudder in 2007. I think he did it before that with the Bearcat because he built that Bearcat around 2000.
Yeah. Well,
You
he
know-
had it before that because he's got it in his TA 152. That's the one I saw it in. The one he won the
I had the
Nationals
same
with.
exact layout on my Revolutions. And I wasn't sure. I ended up not using it at all because I didn't need it. That was the only reason. But the
Hmm.
same exact idea I had on my plane. I was ready to put it in, put a hatch on the backside and stuff like that. Hook it up the same way, pretty much.
Well, Revolutions don't really need it. That thing got enough line tension.
Yeah.
Great minds
That
are
thing-
in the same circle.
That thing just, that's a heck of an airplane. But Keith I wish Keith had come back in here. He is an absolute wealth of knowledge. And what he don't know right off top of his head, he knows where to go pick it up and pull the book out and it's got it in it and make it and show us and prove it to you right quick.
I think he's
The
got every
heck is
model
going
airplane
on with this?
publication since about 1950 or something like that.
Yeah. He's something else.
And then
Yeah.
copies too.
He used to come to the 4A in Winston-Salem. We used to have that thing in June, and he'd drive out here from, I think he was in Denver, but it might have been Albuquerque. I don't know. Anyway, he was still a colonel in the Air Force. And he'd come out here with a TA-152 in the back seat and two other airplanes laying somewhere, I don't know where, in a 65 or 66, I can't remember which one it was, Mustang notchback, not the fastback, a notchback. I mean, he's been a class act.
His
Keith has
whole
always
life.
been a class.
His
Yeah,
whole
well,
life.
Look at it this way, Bubba. First president of Pampa, Keith.
Frank McMillan was right with him.
Yeah. Well, if the first three was that I can remember was Keith and Les McDonald and
Shoot,
Win Paul.
where's my?
Those are the guys that started it.
Well, when you,
Here, I got it right here. See that?
I mean, with a daggum pedigree like that, what are you gonna do?
There's a
Yeah.
fax model that guy gave us. Win Paul, Keith Trostle, and Frank McMillan right there.
Yeah, Frank McMillan. That's right.
Frank, Keith and Barbara for Kansas folks, man. They're just farm people. I'd say they did okay.
Yeah, they did pretty good. I think he did well. But I was absolutely stunned the other night to hear that Bob Hunt wants to be the Pampa president. I mean, I'll vote for him. He'd be a good one, but I thought he was trying to slow down a little bit. Man, that
I
ain't
did
slowing
too.
down. That ain't slowing down.
Bob
I have
had-
watched
Might be
Mark
his
the
slow
last 2
state.
years, and Mark has run his.
Woo,
He's
look
had his feet to the fire for 2 years.
Bob has a desire to see and the idea is to keep the
Event alive.
Pampa going and growing.
oh my.
Yeah. Well, I certainly hope it works. I certainly hope we can figure out a way to get some people going. I thought
It'll
we were
work
going
like
to get to
you
go
said,
flying
if
this
we all
morning.
help out.
Yeah. Well, I've been saying for years, and people won't understand. They think I'm crazy because I've had two or three people about every contest I go to say, "Why do you keep coming to these things and judging or working and not flying?" I said, "Well, because if somebody doesn't work, we don't have a contest. We lost Huntersville because there just weren't enough people to put it on anymore. Not enough people would come and help." And you know, the same guy put on Huntersville that puts on Brodak and he puts on Triple Tree. And he could not find enough help to keep putting on the contest in Huntersville, which is his home contest, his home field. Now you tell me that why people can't figure out if he's doing these other two big contests, he's obviously willing to do contests. And if he can't get enough people to do his home field and they quit having the contest, and we used to have a spring and a fall and a half-a day and some other stuff. But anyway,
I'm interested to see what happened with Dennis's contest
Dennis who?
at a mission.
The geezer.
Oh, I don't know. I think they had it. I think
They
were
did
No,
gonna
it's gonna
have
be
it
a
out.
Brodax.
I was hoping he would come on tonight and give us a recap.
Well, I was hoping, but I don't know. But I tell you what, if some of these guys don't start going to contests and helping out, you go and you're not feeling well, you're not flying well, whatever, and you're going to just sit back and watch, help somebody out. Go volunteer to do something. If it's run numbers, do something to help. I mean, that's the problem. That's why we're losing contests. They can't find enough people to help.
Yeah, you're pretty much preaching to the choir there,
Yep.
We're all here,
I
dude.
know, but I'm hoping there's people listening that learn
Yeah.
something.
Well,
Because
when their
we've
face
lost-
doesn't-
we've
When their
lost-
face doesn't show up on the forum here, they are kind of, you don't know they're there and you
Well,
know,
out of sight, out of mind, I guess. Some people figure if they don't show up, if they don't show the face, then they don't have to do anything, don't have to be
Well,
accounted. But
we had,
it's be accounted or not. But if we don't have people to help put on the contest, we can't have them. We won't have them because
We had
one
a-
person can't do it.
we had a contest that went for 50 years in Salt Lake. 50 years worth of contest. And when I got there, I was a contest director, and they wanted me to run it. And after a couple of years, I was the only one doing anything. I could get people to judge, but I couldn't get any help. And I finally said, "The heck with this! I don't have the time to do everything." So
Yeah, that's the
they
reason
no
we
longer
lost
have a
our-
contest.
That's the reason we lost our 4A. Jim Perdue used to put on the 4A here in Winston, and
That's what we
just
had
couldn't
here.
find
was
enough
4A.
people to do everything. Do what?
So we had here was a 4A, but
Yeah.
I did get some help with the race.
Yeah. We got some help with some of the events, but I met Keith in the Navy Carrier Circle. When Navy Carrier was over, I went over and watched him fly stunt, and he helped me out there. And then I went down to Atlanta. He invited me to come down to Atlanta. Says, you ought to come down to Atlanta. You want to meet some of these guys, and you want to see Bob Hunton and Al Raby. You ought to come down to Atlanta next month or whenever it was. I think it was next month, and watch the team trials. Well, that was 7/7/77. And I went down and met all those people and been friends with several of them ever since. Bobby Hunt, I just think the world of him. And Bill, I met Bill Werwidge there. I met Les McDonald there. I met Al Raby. I mean, those guys are great, all of them. Every darn one of them, just really nice people. But if you want to meet them, go meet them. As Bob Hunt said when I wanted to go talk to Al Raby, but Al Raby, for some reason, he about scared me. I was about scared to go say anything to him. And Bob Hunt turned around and he says, he puts his pants on one leg at a time, just like you do. Go say hello. The only thing is, if you're going to meet, for the people who are listening, because the people watching right here know, if you want to meet one of these people, don't try to meet him at a contest when he's getting ready to fly, because he's in the zone trying to get his mind on what he's doing. But anytime other than when he's getting ready to fly, go up and introduce yourself. They'd be glad to meet you. I mean, I have people that come up to me at contests and talk to me because they've seen me on here. Lord knows I ain't no Les McDonald, but I'll help you any way I can. One they need to is that iPad. They need to talk to that iPad right there.
What
That
about,
rascal right there. You,
I'll help you. What do you want me to help you with?
that rascal knows a lot more than he lets on.
About that.
He won't even put his
I'm a-
name on here. He wants to be incognito, so he's iPad. Yeah, right.
I don't know how to change that.
Oh, okay.
I can barely get on here. If it wasn't for Colleen, I couldn't do this.
I'm not laughing at you. Honestly, that's the way I'm on.
My
A lot of
Fox
times
and
when
my
I can't get
Nitro
mine to work,
comforts me.
Vicky has to fix
My Fox and my Nitro, it comforts me.
it. Yeah. Well, I used to love my Nitro, but I can't get it much anymore. I got one place I can get it, and he's high as a dickens.
It's $60 a gallon.
Dockers.
60?
Lord.
$60.
It's double that.
I can get it for $60 a gallon.
Stalkers.
Get me a gallon and bring it to me, and I'll give you the $60.
You sure?
Yeah.
Stalkers.
Yeah, well, that's a good answer. But I got
You
LA
can
40.
get it, Joe, for sure.
Yeah, $60 a gallon. Last time I
I'd
checked
have you bring me a gallon too.
a month ago.
Let me call Mark. Let's see.
But I got to get that, and I got to find a place now to get the alcohol and the oil because my go-kart shop burnt down.
You get online, you Google
Yeah.
KL 198 and it'll show your house.
Hyperfuels.
KL 198, what's that?
That's synthetic, all synthetic oil.
KL 198.
Cloth.
Okay. What was that, Mark?
There's a company called Hyperfuels that's on the web, and they sell like alcohol and castor oil and
I've
nitro.
heard of them.
And
It
they'll
seems
they
like that's
mail
who
it
we
to
used
you.
to get our.
And there's no
see-
hazmat charge.
Well, I need to get in touch with them then. I think it seems like that's who Ryan used to get our fuel from when we was running go-karts, because we ran alcohol in our carts, enduro
Oh yeah,
carts
their
especially.
Hyperfuels is set up for drag racing and go-karts, not for model airplanes, but they sell all
Yeah,
that
but I
stuff.
mean, you buy the fuel, same thing. But yeah, that's okay. I'll give them a call. I used to run go-karts, and I about backed out of it, and the guys want to know what's got you so miffed. Well, I saw a boy burn the week before, and I said, if y'all refuse to put 10% gasoline in that alcohol, I'm done. Because I'm not going to burn up like he did. I want the guy holding the fire extinguisher to at least be able to see, yes, I'm on fire. Put me out. Because he's standing there waving his arms, and the guys didn't put him out because they couldn't see the alcohol fire.
Yeah.
So
Indy 500
they fi-
had a fire yesterday and it was yellow fire.
Yeah.
They put him out.
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's because Indy was the one that started out putting 10%
Yep. That's
gasoline in.
that's what they're using now. They said.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I gotta run. My neuropathy's kicking up. I gotta go.
Oh, shoot.
Uh-oh.
Sticker.
Oh, bummer.
Sorry to
good.
hear
John,
it,
good
John.
night.
That's going to aggravate you.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll be back Friday.
All
Y'all
right. Well, you
take care,
take care of
bud.
yourself.
Take care,
All right.
John.
You too. Stay out of
Okay.
trouble.
That half my fun gone.
I know, but it's just so much cheaper than trying to get out of trouble.
Oh, you got that right. We'll see y'all.
Take care.
Does any of you guys
Oh.
keep a log on your airplanes? You
I
remember?
used to, but I quit.
Yeah.
I did the first 5 years.
Jim Hoffman keeps notes on everything,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never
Jim
done
Lee
that
still
either.
Jim Lee still logs his. I understand. Howard Rush does.
Howard Rush does every flight. As soon as he lands the plane, goes and sits down, gets his book, and writes it down. I write them when I get home, but I probably should do it like they do it and write it after every flight, because I'm sure I'm forgetting something.
I'm only logging my setups. That's it. And if I find a
Mhm.
better one, I write a new setup, whatever it is.
Boy, I was reading that article Joe Daly wrote, and then I was talking to somebody that was down at Triple Tree with Joe, and said Joe is playing with that setup, that new ESC and timer. Every flight, just about, he's changing something and playing with it just to try to learn it. He's gotten serious.
I flew
Then
that.
he hit that darn bird. That kind of put the end of that. I don't know if
He
he's got
fixed it
fixed
already. I bet you. I bet it's fixed by now.
I would
I
bet so.
bet it is. That boy don't mess around. I
Yeah,
flew
he's been
both those.
posting the repairs on Facebook, and I think it's all done now.
I bet so.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
I
Because
flew both those
he's a
airplanes.
master builder. He does a beautiful job.
He'll probably be at Brodax.
I'm sure we'll be
Yeah,
for
that'd be-
stunt.
I'll see
At
him.
least for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I bet.
Well, I'll be there Thursday morning. What night's the cookouts? You remember?
Wednesday.
Wednesday night. Well, good. I
Mhm.
got to stay for that one then.
That's not
Let's take the
Wednesday. It's the night of
No,
Junkyard Wars.
you're talking about Will's party or
Oh,
Buzz's?
Will's party.
Will's
I don't-
party's Wednesday, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. for
Will's
sure.
is Wednesday. I think Buzz's dinner is Thursday usually.
I thought it was. Was it
Yeah, it's Thursday because it's
Thursday? Okay.
the night of
Junkyard
Junkyard
War.
Wars.
That's right.
Yeah, I want to stick around for that, but I got to get back.
You gonna be there for PA on PA's Friday, Saturday.
Yeah,
And
Friday,
Thursday.
Saturday. Well, I won't
What's
be there for
Thursday?
that.
Thursday Ringmaster Day or something? I forget. I have to go look at the schedule.
I'll have to look at the
don't
schedule.
remember.
Junkyard War is all I can remember.
Yeah. Well, Monday,
Most fun.
does it start Monday? First day's
Yeah.
profile, I think.
Yeah, profile, and then Tuesday is old time.
Old time, Wednesday's
Wednesday.
classic, Thursday's
Classic.
ringmaster,
Yeah,
Friday and Saturday's PA.
yeah, that sounds right. So I'm gonna miss PA, which I hate, but I can't help it.
I'm gonna fly my 576 against them boys.
You probably put hurting on them
I'm
too.
gonna give them a head start.
Guys, if any of you are thinking I'm gonna go because he's just flying a ringmaster, I've seen him fly the 576. Good luck.
I won't get but 12 or 13 appearance points. I'll be behind big.
Well, yeah, but I've seen you make it up with your handle.
We're gonna play. We're gonna go
Yeah,
play. I can take
You
it by
remind me an
profile.
awful lot. You are the only guy I know that reminds me an awful lot of Jim Lynch. Now, before I go on, let me just
That's
tell you,
a
I
compliment.
thought the
That's a
absolute
compliment.
world. I thought the absolute world of Jim Lynch. To me, he was as good as they get. Hell of a modeler and a hell of a guy, period.
He
But
and
you
Mama
remind
Joe
me
were
of Jim
one.
Lynch. And Jim Lynch's favorite saying to me when we got together, he was always saying, I said, Jim, you need to go out there and relax instead of being so tense. You need to go out there and just relax and have some fun. He looked at me just as serious as he could do. I don't believe he could have, if you paid him, he couldn't look any more serious. He said, kicking butt is my fun.
Yeah. It's all
And
right.
he was just a great guy.
Jimmy and Mama Joe were salt of the earth people right there.
They were. Jimmy would give you the propeller off his airplane so you could make your next flight. And
One
don't say he wouldn't do it. I saw him do it at the Nationals. He let a guy use his propeller.
Zachary, Louisiana, he was down there. He's flying it was a Big Aries. I don't know what they call the thing. The Big Aries.
Super
And
Aries.
Super Aries. Well, somehow he
Super
took
Aries.
off and had that line backwards, and he gave it up to flying. It wouldn't fly, and he run that tank out on the ground, Mister. Shortened that prop up, and John Blanchard got that prop from him. And the next year, or maybe it was that year at the banquet, even Brent took it home and made a trophy out of that prop and gave him the trophy for the best way to adjust a prop for length. They
I'm
made
gonna tell
a
you
trophy
what.
out of that rascal. Them's good folks down there too.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, they're great guys. There are some real characters in this hobby.
Oh
There
yeah,
are some of the salt of the earth people that you'll ever want to meet. There's some great guys in this hobby. There's some great women in it too.
yes, there is.
And you know one of them. You're
Yeah.
married to her.
We're looking forward to going.
Yeah, I am too. I'm looking forward to seeing you and Colleen again. I always look forward to seeing y'all.
You know what
And
impressed
even
me the
that old
most?
Sparky. Even that dirty old man Sparky. Looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah.
Took me a long time to learn what you've been preaching on here for at least a year, Joe. It ain't the models, it ain't the trophies, it's the
It's
people.
the people, mister. I've told a lot of people, you sign up and go to Brodax. And at the end of the week, if you don't think it's worth what it costs you, I'll give you your money back.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a lot of
Brodax
fun.
that's the place to be, man. If you like airplanes, I remember how many times I've looked over at that scale circle where they're flying. There'd be two B-17s, a B-25, and a Zero and a Mustang flying around all at the same time. It's like, where
Yeah.
else in the world could you see 5 scale airplanes flying at the same time?
We're going to the contest. It's not a contest. We're going to I can't remember the name of it right now, West Virginia. And I'll think of the name of it in a minute. But anyway, it's oh God, I can't think. Ed's get together. Carl Hopkins. And I'm going to take my SC5 this year. There's a guy that flies a B-17, another guy that brings a little scale. It's a Tiger Cat, I think. And I'm going to try to put my biplane up with them and fly 3 of them in the circle at one time.
It's so much. It's so cool. That's a lot of work. They're walking, they're walking a circle.
Oh, I know. I told him, I said, I'm going to stand in the middle and just fly like this. Just go around in circles up high and let you guys run around me. Because I'm not used to being in the middle of the circle. I won a half A contest like that. My buddy that I flew with, Buddy, was getting sick. And he said, "You're going to have to come out here. We're going to have to swap places." So when it pitted, all three planes come down. Buddy come running out. I went running in. And these other two guys are head and shoulders smaller than me. So I just took the plane, put my arm up and started flying the thing just right in the center, just turning around. I didn't even think about it at the time. But I was shortening my circle and making their circles a lot bigger.
Lots bigger.
It was, oh, I didn't think of it as cheating at the time, but it was cheating. We got the trophy, but it was cheating. Anyway. Oh, Lord, I've done a lot of things over the years. I look back on later and said, what the heck? How did we get away with that? Anyway, I miss old
Watching-
Bulldog and Lee Cleveland though, man. They were so much fun to watch. Every Saturday morning, they'd be out on that front circle, just beating the devil out of either a little Rossi 15 or a Rossi, whatever it was they flew on them little Goodyears. And then they bring out the slow rats and then the rats and all that stuff and race all that stuff. Man, you hear them things scream all day. I mean, 6 of us would get tired and quit, clean our stunners up and go put them in the car. And these two guys are still out there practicing.
What
Then you
happened?
go to a
Joe
contest.
Gilbert go? Oh no, who left?
Steve went
No,
somewhere. I don't know where he
John.
went.
John,
Oh,
Yeah, John now.
Oh yeah, John did leave. That's right. Said his neuropathy was bothering him. I know a little bit about that. I don't have it, but my wife does. But that stuff is awful.
My goodness, what's Carl Reed been up to? What's Tryon been up to? I haven't heard from them.
Oh, for me, nothing much. Just getting our house prepared. We're gonna have new windows installed in the house here next week, and then gonna make the
Where
trip
you
down.
go?
Excuse me.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then we're gonna make then 2 weeks
There
from
you go.
now we're gonna be making a trip back down to San Diego and see family members and get some flying time with some of the guys down there, and that's about it.
There you
I'd
go.
love to get out there to see you again, Carl. You're a mess. Carl can have more fun with a little combat ship than y'all can believe.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun. I didn't even get to fly, and I had a load of fun. Those guys are just a lot of fun. When you see my little buddy, you tell him hello from me.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, he's I don't know why he won't come back on here, but I miss him.
who's that? Charles?
Charlie, yeah.
Yeah, he's just busy because I talked to him. He's doing his family thing.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. Are you going to fly that thing at Brodak?
Yeah, we'll fly it, but I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna fly my Simply Blues. I got the orange one done too, ready to go. All my stuff's ready to go after this airplane.
Well, I've been fighting an ARF Nobler for the last week, and I finally figured out what was going on. I couldn't figure out. It seems like the trim keeps changing. I couldn't figure out how's that doing that. And you know the way those things go together, you think you got hardwood block back there in the elevator, but you don't. And that silly thing, I'd set it up, and everything looked like it was 0-0. And you move the line, have somebody hold the elevators, and I could move the lines 1/8 of an inch. Nothing was ending up 0-0. The flaps were down and the elevators were up, or the thing hunted like a coon dog.
I should think it'd be
So-
bad.
So it was bad. It was bad. So I finally brought it home and cut the tail out of it and fixed the horns, epoxied down there and put the horn back in, got everything 0-0. And I was going to try to fly it today, but it rained. So one of these days, maybe we'll get a chance to get it out and see if it'll fly now. It's not something I'm ever going to take to a contest, but I just wanted it for a fun play. Or if somebody wants to learn to fly, I'll put 2 handles on it and go out there and let them try to fly it, you know. But they just, it's just a really nice old airplane. Just a fun, it's an Obler. I mean, what the heck? It's an Obler.
They talk about on the internet about what's a good wind flying airplane. Get you a
Nobler.
Nobler with the Brodak 40 in it that weighs 43 ounces on 57-foot lines and go have a nice day.
Yeah.
That'll handle wind real well. A good trim's the biggest deal for a wind, I think. Got to be in good trim to handle wind.
You'll get one that's balanced where you can pull it, just pull it and then follow it around and it stays on track and stays round inside and outside. Oh, you can have a fun day. You can have a fun day, but if you got to fight it all the way around and got to keep giving it up and down and all that stuff for every loop, you're going to have a hard day, especially in the wind.
I'd like them to help them do it by themselves. I always want my airplanes to fly by themselves, and I haven't got that figured out yet, but I'd like to. Just point at them and say, do this.
Funny.
Follow my
I
hand.
tell you, I know a guy that bought an airplane that the guy had just won a contest with it. And he bought the airplane and went and bought him a set of lines. He wouldn't sell him the handles or the line. He went and bought him a handle and a set of lines and all the stuff to go with it. And went to a contest about 3 weeks later, I think, and took off and thought the plane was going to do the flying. He'd never flown. So just like you'd expect, well, he went back wanting his money back.
No.
I thought, Lord have mercy, goodness gracious. I'm telling you, there are some people that just, you really got to wonder, was he really needed in the gene pool? And this kid's got three children of his own. And I mean, I hope his kids are smarter than their dad.
Stunt's hard, Phil.
Huh?
Stunt's hard.
Oh, sure, it's hard.
Stunt's hard. It's
But
difficult.
people think they can go out and buy a winning airplane. It's going to win for them too.
No.
Might do it, but you still got to fly it.
Oh, when I saw you flying the pattern with a combat plane, I was like, holy smokes. And you were actually hitting the bottoms with that thing. I was like, how the hell can he do that? I mean, it's like, just like, it was beside myself. I was like, what the heck? I hate you.
You got good stuff. You're a good stick. You're a good stick too. There's a lot of good pilots out there. I don't know. I wasn't around back in the 90s, so I don't know. But from what I can see, the engines and the Pampa and all the information available has made people catch up. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Man, I read everything in them Pampa books from 2003. Oh my gosh, I read it all.
Me too. Cover to cover. I still haven't got I've gotten exactly one from Pampa since the 3 years I've been a member. I got one in January, I think, and I haven't gotten another one yet.
Oh,
but I'm hoping to.
We can work on that. Is it Jim Barry?
Yeah.
I haven't been able to get in touch with him, but anyway. But
he'll be at Brodax, I bet. Well, I'll help you on that.
Yeah. But we got I did the same thing when I back in the 70s when I got started. I read those things cover to cover every month. And then Tommy and I would talk about it. If I had questions, we'd talk about it. And we tried all this stuff that everybody was trying. These new hookups for tanks. All this crazy, all this stuff that we thought was black magic. And it worked. And
the engines got better. The electric systems made a huge difference, and the engines are.
Gosh.
I mean, the LA-46 is. You know how to make one of those run good? Put it on your dang airplane.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. You want a 46 to run? Put it on an airplane. Put some fuel in it and hit it with a battery. I mean, that's all you got to do.
They're a pretty good
the best
engine.
Sport motor I think ever made.
What they are, they're a pretty good engine.
Yeah.
But the electric systems, my goodness. That
Yeah,
made,
it's when you don't have to worry about getting the needle right, you don't have to worry about is it too fast, is it too slow? You get to 525 or wherever you're comfortable, and you know that every time you press that button, it's going to do the same thing. That just takes an awful lot of the problem out of your pattern. I mean, you just don't have to worry about it.
I agree with that 100%, you know.
It-
If some guys have the IC down and pat, they know exactly how to tweak it, what to do to add a head shim, to take a head shim out, you know, a little bit bigger venturi, a little bit smaller venturi. It's just all kind of like a, but for that to happen, it's a lot of work. And I've seen some people doing it very well.
Yeah.
And but electric is just the baby can do it. And then when you fly the plane, you don't worry about a thing. You just put the plane wherever you want to, especially if it's a performing plane. Then all you have to do is just concentrate or what you want to do with the plane. You're not worried about the plane performing. You're not worried about the motor performing. You're not worrying about none of that stuff. It's just you and what you want to do with the plane.
you get off at Kiss Rich. I'm a Kiss Rich, but it'll do it. But I got to watch it here and here. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen, in my opinion.
No. It's wild, I'm telling you. It sure has made it a lot easier for me anyway.
Mhm.
Because I still go out in the field and I see Tommy and Buddy Barbie and some of the other guys that Tony and several of them that still fly ignition or IC. And they'll have that once in a while get a lean run or a rich run and you know, and land and Kermit and I go out there and we push our button and go up, put up flight and land the plane and, you know, pull it back over here. And while everybody else is sitting over there wiping their airplanes off, we're over there talking. You don't have to wipe the plane off. It's a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just so much. It's made it a lot easier for me. I don't know about for other people. It's made it a lot easier for me.
For me too, man. Even though I was running the Rojet 65, the Rojet 50, I had the PA 40, all on tune pipe and stuff like that. So there were serious systems, right?
Yeah.
No, it's no none of that. You know, just good
Yeah.
systems, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna take.
And reliable systems, right? But I still was like, man, when the reason for which I switched to electric is almost by luck, because I was just finishing my plane and I could go either way. I could go IC, I could go with electric, but the electric presented the simplest solution to
Mhm.
implement at the time.
Mhm.
And Mark McKinney told me like, hey, just give it a chance, you know. He said, just give it a chance, you know. And he gave me battery, motor, ESC, the timer, everything was just stock Igor Burger, right? Everything, right? And I put it on. I started to fly with it, and I said, dude, this is stupid easy, you know, just so easy to use.
Mhm.
And yeah, it takes a little bit of curve to learn a couple of things here or there, and you know, obviously it's room for everybody. Like you like that, you like that. I like this, I like this. It's just big up to do, right?
Do what you
Well, I
want
still.
to do.
Yeah. That's what I love about this hobby. I mean, there's a couple of guys that's names I mentioned still fly Fox 35s and love them. That's what they love.
Yeah.
I've
I
won
just put my
contests.
first actually, I just put my first 4 flights of the year. That's all I flew this year.
I've got one, one pattern.
Are you
It's only
serious?
one. I'm
This
serious.
year?
Yep.
Oh my.
I had the neck and back problems, and I'm just getting where I'm not too scared to try that because that's finally getting better. And ever since I got to where I thought I'm gonna go out and see if I can do it with wind or rain or both. I mean, it's
We've
windy
had
and
a lot
rainy
of rain.
today.
If
Oh,
we go
this
to
has
the
been a
field
win.
to mow, I'm gonna take an airplane and fly. I just fly once.
Well, that's what I would have done, but I went up, we had a friend that asked us to come up a couple weeks ago, Tommy and a bunch of us to come up and fly to his field. And Brian Moore. And we went up to Brian's field and flew, and I got up a pattern, and it was that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. But I flew the one flight and I got a twinge in my shoulder, and I said, I think I'm going to quit before I make it worse. So I quit, and everybody else flew one more flight, and then I thought, well, I might fly the third round. And the wind came up, and nobody flew a third round. So anyway, when the wind came up, it really came up. It wasn't a case of a little bit of wind. It was a case of, holy mac, we ain't flying in this. But just the way it's been this year. It's either windy or
I'm
it's
gonna wake
raining or
up
it's
tomorrow
both.
morning to go to work, so I have to go. It's nice to drop
Oh,
by and
shoot.
say hi and see you
Good
guys.
seeing you.
Brian,
Good to see you,
it's good to
Brian,
see
yeah.
you again. Stay out of trouble. Yeah,
What's the
we'll
fun
talk
in
to you
that?
soon. Well, I mean, I want to get
Huh?
tell me one thing before you go. Does Glock sell any custom parts directly, or do you have to buy it through outline dealers?
You can go to the Glock website, I think, and you can just pick up whatever you need.
Okay, I'll give that a try because I want to get one of those. I got a buddy that's got a trick trigger in his Glock 30S, and I like my trigger. It's been polished and it really works nice. But that whatever that gray trigger is that he's got, man, that's nice. That is slick. It's a
I
target
don't
trigger.
think they sell the aftermarket. They sell the original parts that come with it.
Well, apparently this is something from Glock.
Hmm.
I thought
Okay,
it was a
then,
Glock. I thought it was
Yeah.
aftermarket. But anyway, I want to get that in one of those barrels was talking about. But
Mhm.
is there a barrel that has extra twists in there or something? Because he said it was a
I
target
don't think
barrel.
so.
I didn't
I
think
don't
so
think
either.
so.
But I
There are a
didn't
lot
think
of
so either. But
aftermarket parts, but it's so good as is when it comes out of the box. That's like I don't see
well,
why
that's the
people
way.
mess with them.
That's all mine's had done to it was the trigger's been polished, and so well, it's been polished inside. My little brother was a IDPA range officer, and he polished the thing inside, and I took it shooting, and I was shooting a 3-inch group at 75 feet, and I went to a 2-inch group. Now I'm at a 1-inch group, but there's
And a
always
Glock 1 inch is as good as it's
You're
gonna do.
terrible.
That's as good as
I
it's
can
gonna
with you.
do.
That's a
one
good
inch,
group, man.
1 inch at 75 feet with a handgun
That's
will
as
not
good as
win
it's
a
gonna do.
tournament. I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean,
get
We
you
got a guy
get
that makes one hole. We got a guy that at 75
with
feet
a Glock.
makes one hole
With
with
a
a Glock
Glock?
and makes it. It might be a little ragged, but there'll be one hole at 75 feet.
I'm pretty sure that's not a stock Glock.
Well, it may not be a stock Glock, but I'm telling you what,
You could get a stock Glock to shoot 1 inch. You're doing something.
this man is something else. I mean, we went dove hunting. I took a 12 gauge. He took a 22
Mhm.
pistol. I came home with 11 doves. He came home with 9.
He is something.
He didn't fire but 9 times. He never missed. But he just didn't see any more doves. The other 2 doves, he said, that's a female. I ain't shooting that. I can't tell the difference between a male and female. He can. Now, a duck, yes, but no, it's just crazy. But anyway, I don't know. That's my other hobby, but I'm getting to where I can't do that too much because I go out and shoot the 45, a box or 2 of shells through it. And the next day my hand feels like, I mean, it just hurts. It feels like it's shaking all the time.
You get
That's
get you a
just-
Smith & Wesson Model 4122.
I think I just bought one. I have not shot it yet.
That's the nicest shooting pistol you can get your hands on.
I tell you what, you get a Smith & Wesson, I don't remember what it is. It looks like a Glock, but it's a Smith & Wesson 22. My wife has one.
They call that
And
a I went brain dead. I don't
if you
remember.
if you say the name, I'll know it.
No, it's a Browning
she-
butt mark. Once an awful good one too for the money.
Yeah.
The Browning.
But she took that thing and did something that surprised me. She listened. And we left the target range and she's taking the center out of the targets. I'm sitting there, dadgum. That's pretty good. I did a dumb thing. I taught my wife to shoot. Do not want to make her mad.
What was that?
Hush. She's over across the room. I'm gonna get myself in trouble here. But that woman can shoot.
Hey, Phil, is that when you sleep with one eye open?
No, man, I can't sleep.
I just tell you to behave. Life be better for you.
Yeah. If I just stay out of trouble, I'm better off. I'm
Behave.
telling you what, that woman scares me. She knows where I sleep. She fixes my food. I don't know what she puts in it.
Butter and sugar.
No, she won't let me have a whole lot of butter and forget the salt. I ain't getting that.
Unfortunately, you didn't know.
But she does give me Ikeem. It does bring me ice cream. Oh, I'm telling you. No, after 50 years, I ain't gonna do nothing stupid now because I don't have to be retrained.
Always be nice to someone who has access to your toothbrush.
Charlie Reeves used to talk about cleaning. I asked him how he kept his Fox 59s so clean. And he told me this stuff. And he says, you get that and you take a little bit of soda powder and you put on the motor and you rub it with a toothbrush. And you do all this and you clean it up best you can with a toothbrush. And if I don't do it, you're going to get this stuff. And it's a stripper. And you put a little bit in a bowl and you put the toothbrush in it and you clean it with this and you do all it. And he talked for about 5 minutes about how you clean that motor. But he says, not 5 minutes, not that long, about a minute. Anyway, you clean the motor up and then you clean up your toothbrush with some soap and water and you put it back in the rack. But don't use your toothbrush because it tastes bad. And he looked over at his wife and she's over there. Yeah, we lost her a few months ago. I don't know how long ago now, but I can't keep track of time. But she was a sweet lady. She not only put up with Charlie, but she put up with Tommy and Buddy and all of us at the field. She was a good lady. I miss her.
You talking about Nancy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nancy passed away.
Yeah. Was she a school teacher?
I think so. I know she had the patience of Job.
Yes, she did. Well, I'm going to get off here, guys. It's after 9. I'm tired.
Yeah, I gotta get off here too. I gotta get some things done in the morning.
We'll talk.
See everybody Friday. Everybody have a great week. Stay out of trouble. And we'll aggravate you then. Well,
You're muted there.
Yeah, looks like everybody's leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to fall asleep myself.
All right. See you later.
So
I'm going to finish this
Okay.
up.
Bob, you coming down tomorrow to Booter?
Yeah.
And don't you think it's wise that I'm not flying the Crossfire until I get those issues fixed, especially the rudder?
Well, kind of up to you, you know.
Yeah, because one time I was doing one of the horizontal legs, and as I was coming out of the outside side, it just kind of went off overhead. I had to save it, so I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to crash it before I fix it.
That'd be a good idea. You know?
Yeah, so I'll just bring the Spectre. Yeah, my second best now.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see them. I don't know. I'm gonna try to go out earlier than usual because I think the wind's gonna pick up a little bit in the afternoon.
What time?
What time am I gonna go out? Probably, probably 10.
Oh, that's early for you.
That is early for me. Yeah,
You don't normally make it here till 11.
Yeah,
Hey, Sparky, what are you doing?
just putting the
Chasing
motor in
threads.
prop and getting it ready to fly.
Yeah.
So are you threading the shaft on the motor? Is that what you're doing?
No, chasing thread, just cleaning them up.
Oh, I see.
And you know, this is aluminum on aluminum, and if you force that in there, it galls the threads. You'll never get
Yeah.
it.
Right.
I don't have any anti-seize, so. Oh, wait a minute, I do have anti-seize in the gun case. Hold on. We'll get some anti-seize on this. I think it's in that. Could be in the. And we'll see how it goes first.
Well, you just use the antifreeze to slick up the thread so it doesn't bind when you screw it together, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't seize up. See,
Well, any kind of lubrication will work, wouldn't it? Like a little
That-
bit of Vaseline or
Not really.
to cut down the friction on the threads? Because that's all you're doing, isn't it? Cut down the friction?
Well, you don't want to get it hot. I mean, I'm going to cut some of this off, so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens here. When I sell this, I'd like to give it to somebody that we know it's going to work, you know?
Sure.
It got warm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Can't touch it. Pretty warm. Yeah, I can't believe they bailed out so early.
Yeah,
So, Stephen, what part of the country do you live in?
same as Bob, St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. How's the weather out there right now?
Actually better than was predicted.
Yeah.
Earlier in the week or late last week, they were predicting rain every day. We haven't gotten much, if any, next last couple of days, and it's off the table for tomorrow. It's been windy. Oh, it's
Yeah.
been windy. But I think tomorrow is a little better, a little flyable, and temperature's been nice. Hasn't been too hot.
Yeah, I like it hotter, but
Yeah, you do.
Has the humidity kicked up yet at all?
not yet. But I mean, well, it is because it's 65% right now. Too
Yeah.
humid to paint.
Yeah, that's been an issue too.
Best
Of
time
course,
to
it's
paint
only
is
going to
winter.
get worse.
Best time to paint is winter time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we may have it now. Nope. Shit.
Too long?
Yep.
Was it binding?
Bottoming out.
Oh, not good.
Well, that's my dad said years ago. He says, "Well, just cut it off 3 times and still be too short." So,
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
yeah, that's true.
The only nose cone I got for this spinner.
Mm.
And I know that it's going to get hot like hell. We'll try it again. We'll see what happens.
So is that a IC engine you're putting that on, or is it electric?
I don't do any electric.
Oh, okay.
No, Bob doesn't do electrics.
Getting warm.
Get a pair of channel locks, my friend.
No,
Or
I don't
vice
want to
grips.
put scars in it. Don't want to put scars in it.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm a mechanic. I can handle
Oh, I'm sure you can. Yeah, that'll put on a pair of gloves, then hold it.
Nah, Bob won't do that. He won't. I've seen him in action.
I understand. Us old plumbers, we do the same thing. We'll just do it. Don't worry about it. If it burns, it burns.
it. I'm gonna
You were a
put
plumber,
on it.
Carl?
Yeah, I'm a retired plumber. Yes.
All right. Oh,
It's
you
too
know,
hot.
I
I'm
think,
gonna wear a glove.
all right. I think more young folks need to get into the trades and not be so focused on going to college nowadays.
Yeah. Well, the way
I
I
don't
look
think we're
at
going
it,
to have enough electricians or plumbers or carpenters or any of that.
yeah, because I kind of feel that when you go to college, unless you're really gonna go for something that's gonna pay a lot of money, like a lawyer,
Engineering, doctor,
doctor,
lawyer. Yeah.
if you're just going there to be a school teacher, which we need school teachers, but the thing that kills the college students when they graduate, they got the big bill hanging over their heads.
Right. Right.
And so unless you're making a lot of money, like we just spoke about, it's difficult to pay that bill off and start setting yourself up to raise a family or have a family.
That's for sure. My kids are all different. I got 3.
Yeah.
And the youngest went furthest in college, got a master's degree, and
In what?
Underwater basket weaving.
no, public health. She was a biology major, and she got
There you go. Yeah.
a degree in public health, and she's working at a company that does final stage testing of pharmaceuticals and other things for before human trials.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I did all that for free.
I bet you did. Yeah, she's a data analyst,
Yeah.
whatever that means. And my middle daughter is a nurse, but she's not a floor nurse. She works directly for a doctor's office. And my son is a free spirit out in California doing his own thing, whatever that is.
Yeah,
I'm working at a sandwich shop,
whereabouts in California?
Long Beach.
Oh. Yeah. Well.
Actually, I think it's more than a sandwich shop. I think it's kind of a mid-range restaurant. And I think he's doing okay. I mean, he makes enough money to do what he wants to do.
You got to make the money to live in California.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see how these young kids are going to make it in California. It's
so expensive out there. It's terrible.
I know that. Well, that's the reason why my wife and I we ended up migrating to Nevada, and the town that we live in now is because it's the only place we can afford to buy a house.
Yeah.
Where did you live in California, Carl?
We lived in a town called Santee. It's just east. Excuse me.
I've been there.
Yeah. And
Escondido, Santee.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you know where? Do you know where? Yeah. Do you know where Fallbrook is?
Certainly.
Yeah. Well, that's where I was raised. And that's where my dad and his two brothers grew up. And
Fallbrook's where my knee was put back together when I had a bad motorcycle crash.
Mm.
Were you in the service at the time, or were you a civilian?
When I had the crash,
Yeah.
I was civilian.
Yeah. Well, the funny part about living up there is, like I said, my dad and his two brothers lived in grew up in that town, and then my dad became a plumbing contractor, ran a business in that town, and so when me and my brothers got our driver's license, we couldn't get away with nothing in that town because everybody knew my dad and knew me and my brother.
Well, what you were talking about college degrees and all that stuff, this is for everybody that's under 40 that would listen to us. You know, all this college degree crap is not gonna, when AI takes over, you're not gonna have a job. But you're
Yeah.
not
Right,
gonna be out of a job if you're a mechanic, a welder, a fabricator.
right. All the
cleaning.
trades. Yeah,
All the trades, those cannot be replaced by AI.
yeah. I made a joke here last week when I said all the years I was plumbing and doing new construction and plumbing trap homes and stuff. I was always hoping I could find the pull rope on that shovel, but I could never find the pull rope on that shovel, so the shovel would work by itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Learn how to use your hands. Learn how to do math without a computer. Learn how to read a ruler. God, you'd be surprised how many guys don't know how to read a tape measure.
yeah. You guys ever see that movie with Tom Hanks? I can't think the name of it.
Well, he's
Right up.
been in a lot.
Well, he plays a single older man, grumpy old man thinks he's in charge of the neighborhood. And he goes in the hardware store and he wanted to buy a certain length of rope, but they only sell it in 5-footers or 6-footers, and he only wanted 3 feet. The kids behind the cash register couldn't do the math how to charge him for 3 feet of rope instead of the length that they sell it by. That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Carumba is now ready to go.
All right.
You
gonna bring that out to Booter tomorrow?
No, I'm gonna fly my Simply Blues.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I look forward to that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 PA airplanes ready to go now, so I got 7 bullets.
All right.
Down. Let's see where this balances now.
So is that the one that's for sale, Sparky?
Yes.
Wow.
All of my airplanes are for sale. I got no sentimental ties to any of them.
Yeah.
But
You don't sell the ones you compete with, do you? Or do you compete?
I compete. I have no sentimental value to any of them.
Oh, I see.
Because I just build another one.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I really enjoy building them.
Yeah. And does the motor go with it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Just as is, right there.
Yeah.
Come to Brodax, pick it up.
So is that 1,000 with the motor, or are you adding some for the motor?
$1,000. That's not a Brian Gardner. That's a stock Super Tiger 60.
Oh, okay.
But they work just as good. I mean,
So
they were-
the Brian Gardner eliminates the
ring. And it
ring, right?
makes the engine lighter too, because the aluminum, brass, chrome
ABC.
is what the liner is. So it's lighter than the steel liner.
Yeah.
Shit, the rev up repeller is $15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. What size prop is that?
13.6.
Yeah.
Find one.
Yeah. Really.
I got,
is that the good rev up?
that's the good one.
Wow. Yeah, that's worth something right there.
How you tell the good ones from the bad ones?
Here's a rev up 13.6.
Oh,
Okay. These are all unobtainium, old stock, new old stock.
yeah.
What, isn't there something, what's the designation of those?
THP, true helical pitch.
Thought there was something about wide, no?
Now the EWs are on my my Viper profile and my Continental. Those are 11.6 EWs,
And what are those
extra wide.
extra wide?
Yeah, I got all kind of props. Of course, you know that. You've seen the box.
Yeah. You gonna bring them all to Brodak?
I am going to sell some rev up props, but I bet they don't sell because they're oddball sizes for RC. You know, there's some 14.6s in there that you could buy and cut to 13.6 for 60s. There's some 12.6s in there that I don't use. People like those. 16 4.5s I got in there. I use them on PA 75s.
16?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You figure a PA 75 turns a 15 4.5 carbon prop, so I just put a 16 4.5 on it. Wood prop, same thing, loads it just the same. Gives you a lot of thrust, a lot of area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I practiced more, I could do better, but I don't fly enough.
Yeah, I know that. And this spring has been terrible for
Yeah.
practice.
All of my aerodynamic theories are sound, aren't they, Steve?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's been. I've benefited from it. I mean that Spectre flies better than anything I got, except it's kind of heavy, so I kind of have to horse it around. But
yeah, if I'd have built that from the beginning, it'd be in the 40s. It'd be like 40.
yeah, it'd be better.
Then it'd be something to. But you're never going to get away from 16 ounces of concentrated weight in those electric airplanes.
Right. Yep. Battery and motor and electronics.
Now,
Mainly the battery.
There's more than 16 ounces because you got ounce for the ESC and all that. Say 18 ounces of concentrated weight.
Yeah.
That weight wouldn't be bad if it was spread out over the whole airplane. But seeing that it's right there in the nose at the end of the stick, I can't explain it to you,
Yeah.
Maybe we could design one that puts the battery right over the CG somehow.
It's still concentrated. It's 10 ounces of concentrated weight.
Yeah.
Concentrated in a little spot. If you could spread it out, if they made skin, if the covering could be a battery, it'd be great.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
Then you would never need to charge it up, right?
Well, that would be a solar airplane.
Solar, yeah.
Fly forever.
Here's a question. I gotta put a canopy back on my Nobler. So what do I use to glue that canopy back on with?
I use epoxy.
Okay.
What happened to the Dr. Pepper Minnesota Mike? I sold that to Mark Hughes.
Yeah.
I just got into the chat here. Let's go over the chat. Mark, we missed you on Saturday. Lynn Boss. What happened to the Clovis contest, got no idea. The greatest thing you can talk to the guy next to you and hear him talking. Yeah, talking about electrics, I suppose. Here in Alberta, it's been blowing a hoolie. It's windy, okay?
Yeah.
The family's eyes are crossed at 75 foot. I don't understand that. I wish you'd have been up on the chats because I can't read them that far away.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
That's all right. Anyway, everybody wants to go longer away from the center of gravity. Center of gravity's plotted in, they say, well, where's the center of gravity? Well, what's the chord on the wing? And that's just a rudimentary guess. When you say, well, I want it at 25% or 27% or whatever of the total width of the chord. But that's not really the center of gravity. The real center of gravity is the mean center of gravity out here is where it's figured. So if you start spreading things out from the exact center of gravity, farther and farther and farther, talk about high aspect ratio wings, they catch the wing and the wind, and they do that because it's away from the center of gravity. Now, I wish Bob luck. Benny likes them. They'll turn quick because they have a short root chord.
Mm-hmm.
And that means clock time, just like a flying wing. It'll zip like that, where my airplanes take longer to go around because my chord is 11.5 inches. But an 8-inch chord is going to turn faster. And that's all in this. Just the way it works. But you start stretching the tail out to 22 inches long. How long does that tail take to go around the corner?
Right, yeah.
That's why a combat airplane is the nose sucked back to the motor sucked back to the leading edge, and the boom is right up on the leading edge. And they'll just turn right around themselves.
Well, one thing about the Crossfire that I built, we haven't. I mean, it seems to be balanced.
Yeah.
I haven't had to add any nose or tail weight.
However, if you start adding more clear to it, the heavier the airplane gets, the more tail heavy it gets. So
really?
Well, yeah. Even if you spread the weight out over the whole airplane, the heavier the airplane, the more tail heavy it gets. So now you got it tail heavy, you got to put nose weight in it. That's what Gialdini's barbell effect was about.
Yeah.
House. Add here, lengthen there, add some weight here. The best thing to do is take weight off.
So if I put clear on, I'm going to have to add nose weight?
Don't know for sure.
Don't know. Yeah.
I
hope
just
not.
There's a possibility. If the weight goes up 2 ounces, more than likely, yeah. So you got 2 ounces there, and then you're going to have to add an ounce at the nose. So it might go up 3 ounces. But you don't know until you do it. I mean, it's
right.
Maybe
it feels pretty good now, except for some spots where that twisted flap is causing issues.
I could see it. I told you about it, but
yeah, I could feel it.
So how do you get away from having that problem?
Build it right.
Replace the flaps.
Yeah, build it right.
Yeah, but how does that eliminate the weight of the clear?
Oh no, we were talking about the twisted flap. I was talking about the twisted flap.
All right. It seems to me that any clear you put clear in any airplane, you're gonna add weight to the plane, correct?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So how do you keep from making it heavy on the tail or on the front with the clear, or can you?
How much paint do you think's on my airplane?
Well, no one knew, very little.
1 quart of dope. That's it. 1 quart.
Yeah, and how much did I use?
half a gallon, maybe 3/4
Yeah.
gallon.
Well, oh, okay.
Cause I was, dealing with, lack of sanding and, not good woodwork. I learned that as I went. I didn't know it starting out. So,
So when you have your aircraft down the bare wood, before you put your silk on it, do you dope the wood first and let it
Yes.
dry, and
Yes.
yeah,
then then sand that down?
Yes,
yep.
3 coats.
Okay. Oh, three.
First
Okay.
coat I don't normally sand. Then I come back, put a second coat on it. I'll sand it. The third coat, I'll sand it. Then lay the tissue on it. Then 3 coats of brushed over the top of the silk span, maybe 4, depending on how it fills, depending on which silk span you got. And then you fill the silk span, and the silk span should be shiny before you start painting.
Okay.
And trust me when I say this, the shine on my airplanes does not come from paint. It comes from elbow grease,
Mm.
Yeah.
not sand.
Yeah.
And the trick of adding a little white to that dope that you're building up with
Correct.
should eliminate or should minimize the amount of color you have to put on later
Yeah.
if it's a white airplane.
Well,
color.
let's say you're building a ringmaster, and it's the wing of the ringmaster is now a full shaded wing. So do you dope all that wood on the wing as well
All
before?
the ribs, the trailing edge, leading edge,
Okay.
center section, all of it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And do not put the paper down with dope. You got to put it down, spray it with water,
Right.
and relax it, and pull it all the wrinkles out. And then
Yeah.
once it looks like you got it perfect, then you go around and dope it down. So now you've doped it down, because people think that paper shrinks. It does not shrink. It relaxes. So
Right.
Mm.
you're relaxing the paper, and you're pulling it tight all over. Then you're putting it, tacking it down. And when it dries, it goes back to its original shape.
Yeah.
And once you get that in your head, you go, well, I'll never have another wrinkle again, because I'm going to get all the wrinkles out before I put any dope on it.
Yeah. Well, you don't put the dope on it until after it dries out, correct?
No, I put it on wet.
Oh, you
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Really?
Easier said than done.
I don't paint the open bays wet. I paint around the perimeter when it's wet.
Oh, I see.
And the faster you can go to a spray gun, the lighter your airplane will be.
So
So
so after you do that, and then when the paper dries, is that when you go and do the bays with the dope?
No. Okay. I take
Maybe
a mason jar like this.
Right.
This is a half or a pint. This is 8 ounces. I take a quart mason jar. I put this much of raw dope in that quart mason jar. You got that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, I take the quart mason jar and I pour it into another quart mason jar. So now I got 2 half quarts, or 2 of these, full of clear dope. That's all the paint I use on my whole airplane. That's all of it. One is for top coat, the other is for base. So I paint the clear, and I've started going from the bare wood up with the tinted clear. I take, I don't know, let's say 2 shot glasses of white, and put it in this, and it turns the clear milky. As you're doping, your airplane will get wider and wider and wider. And by the time you get all that on there, the airplane's white, and it only takes that much color, just dust the color on and it's white.
Yeah.
Bob, would that work with another color other than white?
It works on every color, but my best suggestion is to add white. Because if you want a red, let's say you're gonna paint your airplane red, and
Mhm.
let's say you put blue in the red, it'll make the red black or turn the red green. You know, it'll be a
Mm.
dark red, or red and blue make green. It'll
Yeah.
have green hue to it. So that if you want to make the colors vibrant, especially yellows, you want to put white in that, and you want to paint on a white surface.
So even if you're going to make the main color something other than white, you're better off doing the white in the buildup.
Yes.
Okay.
Now
Well-
here's another example. Let's say you're going to paint your airplane red,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to tint the clear dope red. By the time you get painting the red on, it'll be a dark, dark, dark red, because you'll have like 20 coats of red tint on it.
Yeah.
So if you paint it white first, you're going to have a bright red because it's bright.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Well, getting back to the wing of a ringmaster, you said when the paper's wet, you go around the leading edge and the trailing edge and put dope on it while it's still wet. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, now when do you do the bays in between the ribs?
After
Yeah.
it dries and shrinks,
Okay.
well, it doesn't shrink, but after it
Yeah,
dries,
right.
and then you go
Okay.
back and you go in the open bays.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
no more than 3 coats with a brush, and you got to sand between them, because if you use a brush after 3 coats, it starts dragging. You'll have brush strokes in there in
Right.
your finished airplane, so you want to sand all them brush strokes out and start spraying as soon as you can. Three, maybe 4 brushed coats, and that's tops.
Okay.
And so for the base, you want to spray the rest of that quart on. You know, you still got your half a quart. You want to spray the rest of that on your airplane. Then take no more. There's only that much white on my airplane. That much. Steve used a quart,
Yeah.
you know, a quart unthinned.
Yeah.
Now there's that much on my airplane. So what I would do is fill this up with thinner and then spray this on my airplane to make it white. Now I have that half quart that I've still left over with for the top coat. Do all my trim colors, and that half quart is all I get on the airplane. And once you're out of paint, you're done spraying. Don't go back to the can.
Yeah. So how do you do, what do you do to make the dope turn white? What is it you mix with the dope to make it turn white?
White paint.
Oh, white paint. Okay.
2 shot glasses. That's a lot.
Yeah.
2
Okay.
ounces is a lot. Usually I use 2 tablespoons, but to make it easy on everybody that's listening, 2 shot glasses would work.
Okay.
2 ounces of white in a quart of thinned clear. And
Okay.
that makes a milk. I got a quart over there. It makes a milkshakey looking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you're doping, your plane is getting wider and wider
And wider and wider. Yeah.
until you get to that final. You say, well, okay, if all my substrate is gone, my 1/4. Let's put the color on it and then trim it. But the trick to all this business that I'm talking about lies right where the hell I know I got it around here.
Sandpaper.
That's right, sanding.
And what grit of sandpaper do you use when you sand the dope in between the 3 coats?
I use 320.
Okay.
I've started to go down to 400 and 600, but I use 320 mostly. You can get a nice finish with 320 as long as you're not grinding it. You know, you don't.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
like
Slight sanding. Yeah.
And you can get a pretty nice finish without any scratches in it with 320. But 400's better, 600's even better. It just takes longer.
Yeah.
Mm.
I start out with 24 or 36 grit sandpaper and end up with 5,000. So what you're doing when I start out with 24 or 36 is I'm shaping, and you'll have craters in the thing, you know, big deep groove scratches in the wood. And then you drop down to 180 and you sand all those scratches out. And then from 180 to 320 and you sand all those scratches out. Now we're ready to cover. And you start covering. I feel that if you go down to 400 or 600 before you have any dope on it, it's too slick. It doesn't stick. It closes the wood up.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
It's too slick. But there's plenty of guys who'll sand down to 1200, because it is lacquer.
yeah.
I'm in production. I don't want to
Yeah.
spend a million hours finishing an airplane. And if you see my airplanes in person, you can see no scratches in the thing. Can
Right.
you see? They're absolutely polished to the bone. And then after your airplane's done, there's at least 100 hours of sanding afterwards.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy, but even Steve's airplane with no clear on it, I could make it look like a diamond
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could.
because I
Yeah,
know
but would you be able to get rid of that tail weight though?
there's no tail weight because we're not going to add any paint to it.
Okay.
I'm just going to sand it and polish
Right. Yeah.
because clear dope or colored dope shines just like clear dope. It just doesn't have the depth. The problem with it is his white airplane. People holding the airplane are going to end up, if we don't get at least one coat of clear on it, people holding the airplane are going to leave smudges and mudges on,
Yeah.
and you can't get them off because it goes right down to the wood.
Yeah.
So it's got to have a protectant on it of some time.
Right.
And then once you get done with the final paint job with your paint scheme, and it's all done and over with, do you go back with a protected coat to protect that paint or no?
No.
Okay.
When I'm done with my clear dope, I'm done. I'm done. I'm
Okay.
out of paint. I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
1 gallon of clear will paint 4 airplanes.
Okay.
Unless you're Kenny Stevens and it's 1 gallon of clear for 1 airplane.
Okay.
But his airplane's at, almost 80 ounces too.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a beautiful Kenny Stevens does beautiful work. Beautiful
Yeah.
work. But man, there's some paint. I said, Kenny, is that your thing? No, that's dope. How much is on there? He said 1 gallon. Holy
Oh gosh.
A gallon of clear on his yellow airplanes that he does.
Yeah.
Everybody got into watching Wendy, and Wendy is a motorcycle painter or a car painter. He'll
Right.
might as well dip it. His airplanes are beautiful, but man, come on, paint is on there 1/4 inch thick.
Oh gosh. Okay. Now, what's your opinion of a chipmunk?
In the 60s, today, most airplanes are designed around a Geobolt wing or an SV-11 wing. In the 60s, it was the Jim Van Leeuw Chipmunk. And so that was the stable wing to use, the Chipmunk.
Okay.
What do I think of it? It's a good flying airplane if you can keep it light.
Okay. All right.
Now, it depends on what chipmunk you're talking about. You're talking about a SIG chipmunk with a plastic cowl? The Mike Stott chipmunk?
Oh, I'm not sure. I have to go out and look at it.
If it's got a plastic cowl on it, that ain't the one. You need the one that came in the Flying Models magazine with it was all built up wood. Jim Van Leeuw. No, Jim Van Leeuw was a foamy, and he lives here in Missouri. I talked to him. What the hell was that guy's name? I can't remember, but that wing is a good wing. It was a good airplane.
So that one with the plastic canopy, is that worth spending your time building or not?
It depends on what you want to do. I mean,
Okay.
if you're going to be a serious competitor, No.
Okay, all
If
right.
you're gonna be a weekend
a-
warrior, yeah,
Okay.
it'll fly and do anything you can do. I don't know how good a pilot you are.
Well, I'm average. I can go in circles and do inside and outside loops, but that's about it right now.
So you can't do the full pattern. You're not flying
No.
a 500-point pattern.
No.
Yeah, build it, whatever, and have fun with it.
Yeah. All right.
But if my scores are anywhere between 5 1/4 and I think the biggest I had was a 555 or something. I mean, just out of the groove. I'm not there because I
Yeah.
don't fly enough.
Right. I understand.
But most of the local contests I win. I
Yeah.
win a lot of local contests.
Yeah. All right.
Unless I was on the West Coast, then flying against Howard Rush and Paul Walker and them guys, then I get smoked. But here local, I do all right, top 3 always, But the Nationals is a different thing. My best finish at the Nats is 17th.
Mm.
But I only flew 13 flights that year before the Nats too. This year I got 1 pattern in. That's it. So it's nothing new here because of our great weather.
Yeah.
And by the end of the season, I'll be tuned back up. And just when I'm tuned up, it's time to quit flying because it's too damn cold.
Yeah, no, it's not. If it's not one thing, it's another, isn't it? So,
20 years ago, I started the isolated stunt contest here in St. Louis. Maybe it's 25 years ago, in the 90s,
yeah.
because I needed a tune-up midwinter. Now I haven't been to one. I ain't going out there and freezing no more.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you.
They said, "Well, your contest it's on my birthday. It's your contest. It's on your birthday. I don't give a damn. I'm not going out there and freezing."
Well, you know what they call that, don't you?
No.
Old age.
Yeah.
Because remember how we were young and I don't care how cold it is. I'm going to go out and fly or do whatever. And then we start turning 40, 50, 60. Oh, no, it's too cold. I'm going to stay inside the house today.
That's it.
Same thing with.
I can't handle the cold.
Yeah, I hate being cold.
The camera today showed me the back of my head. I thought my hair was just thin. I'm bald. It snuck up on me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing I got going for me is I get a good crop of hair, and every time I go to the barber shop, they always, especially if it's run by women, they go, "Oh man, you have a nice head of hair," and I go, "Well, yeah, I was blessed with a good crop of hair, but short on brain cells." So anyway,
Hey, here's one. I have not Jeff's Train World. It's probably an RC club. Valley Aero Club in St. Charles. Now, is that St. Charles, Missouri or St. Charles, Illinois?
I don't know. I wouldn't. Illinois.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
He's working on his cars and building a balsa wood plane. So,
Yeah.
if you're looking for any tips on how to do something, it's on this channel. There's over 3,000 videos of me doing something.
Yeah. Yeah. Did Steve go off the air?
No, he's went to the bathroom or
Oh,
something.
okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know. There's every now and then I'll get on YouTube and go on the Stunt Hanger app, and it shows you Sparky's building a wing, or how to clean the motor up, or how to do this or do that. Yeah. So.
I think I've done everything. That's why, I don't know when I'm doing these videos it's gotta be boring. I've done it over and over and over and over again. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
But I keep doing them, they keep watching them, so I just keep doing them, I guess.
Yeah, but is it really the same stuff? Because I'm sure that every airplane you built, you always came across a problem that, okay, what are we gonna do now? How are we gonna fix this problem?
Well, that's
Or
why I do things live. Well, that's
yeah,
not the only reason. I do things live because I don't want to do any editing. But when I'm doing them live, you can see me make a mistake and see how I get out of it. And
yeah,
trust me, I can figure out how to get out of it pretty quick because I've made,
yeah.
Joe was saying he made all the mistakes building. Nah, I don't think so either. You ain't building enough airplanes.
Yeah. Or you
Yeah.
come up with a better way of doing something or a better technique that saves you time and so
Yeah.
and the only way you learn that is actually getting there and doing it.
I have over 60 years of hands-on experience on how to build these stupid things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to go put my batteries on the charger for tomorrow.
Oh. See, now if you were flying IC, you wouldn't have to worry about that.
That's right. My batteries are already in the car.
Yeah, right.
Only thing you would have to charge up is your igniter, right?
Right.
I only do that once a year.
Yeah.
I got 3 of them.
No.
One goes bad, on to the next one.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I gotta change the glow plug out on this. It's got that BS glow plug in it.
Mm.
We were flying with a gentleman down in San Diego before I moved to Nevada, and he had a Super Tiger 35, and no matter what we do, we could not keep that thing running. It would start up, and then it would die, and then that was terrible.
Backplate gasket.
Is that what it was? You
Well, I
think?
don't know, but that's where I would
Yeah.
look right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it has the same amount of compression on the lower end as it does the top. So if the gasket goes bad, it's not charging the fuel.
I see. And when you say charging the fuel, you mean forcing the fuel up into the combustion chamber?
Right. It
Yeah.
comes in through the middle of the crank to the crankcase.
Right.
And as the piston's going around or coming down, it's charging the top end. It's putting the next charge in it. And there's a place where both ports are open called overlap. Both ports are open and it causes a Venturi effect and that keeps
Oh, I
cycling
see.
around
Yeah.
and around and around like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking at something here a few months back, and they actually called the IC motor the crank a rotary valve.
Well, Kawasaki had rotary valves on
Yeah,
the
I know,
crank.
but if you stop and think about it, with the crank going around in circles and the hollow, that little valley in that crank is what picks up the fuel, right, and then flips us up into the cylinder. That is like a rotary valve. So
Well, I watched a video last night of a new engine, 2-stroke engine that has rotary valves in it instead of port injection.
right.
And it's a supercharger, and it works on both ends, so it's firing on the top end and firing on the bottom end.
Oh wow.
It's 100% efficient. I mean, the motor was something like 50 pounds, putting out 200 and some odd horsepower.
Oh wow.
2-cylinder.
Yeah.
And they're developing that for cars, and the reason why that 2-stroke engines went away is environmentalist wackos said there's too much smoke, too much oil going out in the air. Well, this eliminates the use of the problem of that because the oil stays inside the engine.
Yeah.
So it's running straight gas instead of 50-to-1 oil mix, It's pretty cool. It's on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked up there's you can go on YouTube, you can look up the largest 2-stroke engine in the world, and they asked, and it was on a freighter,
Yeah, boat.
and I go, man, this,
It's a 2-stroke diesel.
yeah.
Hmm.
You
So
realize how big those pistons are, right? Size of a room
Yeah.
in your house, 20 foot
Yeah.
in diameter.
yeah,
Hmm.
But they only turn 600 RPM top. It's not
yeah,
very-
but look at the torque it turned. I think they're after the torque that pushed the ship to the water, though. I think is what they were after. So
My favorite engine video on YouTube is a hit and miss engine. It's half in the ground. You need to watch that. Just type in
Okay.
hit and miss.
yeah,
It's got a huge flywheel on it, and it's got Stax megaphones on it, and it goes doot 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 doot, and it'll blow smoke rings out the exhaust.
Yeah.
And it's over 100 years old. This motor.
Yeah.
It's for a
Well,
sawmill.
You ever
Years-
see Jay Leno?
Oh, he got all kind of shit.
Yeah, he's got some kind of rotary engine he's got mounted. And he runs it
That's a
on the
mod.
ground. You know, it was from an
Right.
airplane, but
Yeah.
many years ago, when I was a teenager, one of the welders in my hometown there, he was building something. He had a pump that ran on gasoline. It was like an irrigation pump for pumping water out in the fields. And every 20 strokes, it would fire. And then it would just sit there and just turn and turn and turn and turn and turn, pop, turn
That's
and
a-
turn and turn and pop. It was
That's a hit
a,
and miss engine.
is that what that was? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, we're going to go, but Guy has one last question. I don't know the answer. You may. Jeff's Train World asked, you guys ever heard of a club called Valley Arrow in St. Charles?
no,
Me
no,
neither.
afraid not.
I bet it's St. Charles, Illinois.
Yeah.
It might be. Yeah.
All right, guys, we've been on 3
All right.
hours.
All right.
Yeah. Time to
Well-
go.
Good night, guys. You have a good weekend.
All right. We will. Take
Or
care.
good week, I should say. Bye.
Good week.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the stream, Fair Winds, Tight Lines.